You're muted.
Welcome, everybody, to Bad Science Sunday, where we take a comedic approach to debunking bad science over the internet. And it just, it wouldn't be a return without, it's not even technical difficulties. It's just Maya being a professional streamer. But today we have with us Dr. Dan.
Well, hello.
Hey, what's the elevator pitch?
The elevator pitch is that I am an evolutionary biologist, and on YouTube, I talk about everything that's wrong with creation science, mostly in the kind of genetic cell bio realm. And so I try to provide kind of the basics of evolutionary bio, enough science to understand why the creationists are wrong, and importantly, so that a non-biologist can explain why the creationists are wrong. That's like lately has become my thing of I want everybody to be able to quickly and efficiently deal with all the nonsense that you hear from the creationists.
No, that is so super important. Oh, my mic's like way over here. You probably can't hear me at all. So super important. We are living in a fascist hellscape where our government is doing one of the biggest brain drains in history. And because people think that science is an opinion. So I have been doing my very best to try to explain to people that no, science is just the study of the world around us, and it works on testable results, things that can be retested by other people. It's not just like, hey, I think this antivirus serum works. You should take it. It's like, retestable.
We've all experienced like the constant pressure, the constant that hum in the back of your head of living in this fascist hellscape and just being bombarded every day by the misinformation. And it's like there's that line from 1984, they told us to ignore the evidence in front, and it's just that day in and day out. And it's like you can't even, The Onion is not even parody anymore. It's like literally just a news source, and you don't even know.
The Onion has been jumping through hoops trying to figure out ways to be so outrageous that it can't be taken seriously. Because you just wouldn't even think, reality wouldn't generally make it into an Onion comic.
It's really bad. And I for those of you who don't know, my actual specialty, like the research I did in graduate school, was on viral evolution. And part of what I worked on was how viruses evolve when they jump into a new host. So the last 6 years have just been every rando on the internet explaining my own field to me.
I know what that's like.
Yeah, there's a
and it just like
I think most of the PhDs I talk to, it's just like my random musings mean more than your life's work.
Yeah, right. It's like, but have you considered? It's like, well, actually, I have, because I've written thousands of words on this specific topic and had other people confirm that those words are accurate. So yeah, I have considered whatever random thing you thought of in the shower 20 minutes ago. Yes, I actually have. Thank you.
Well, nowadays it's not even the random thing they're thinking of. It's the random thing that the AI that they're talking
the AI
in the shower thought of.
Yeah. And there's that. I'm so glad you brought that up, because I do, I would... So, I don't know if you saw a couple of months ago, Dr. Dan, YouTube's if they see somebody's face, they're telling them this person's talking about you. And I don't mind that at all, because I stand by what we do here, right?
Yeah.
But on occasion I do get the copyright strike. And the most recent one, they took the video down, and It was, oh God, I forget the guy's name, but it was the Ancient Aliens guy.
Oh yeah, I know who you're talking about. I don't know the guy's name, but yeah.
Yeah, and they were like, "Well, this person is saying that you are, you know." I'm like, "No, no, 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 no.
Fair
This
use,
is not.
folks.
This
Fair
is
use
fair
is a
use.
thing.
This is fair use
Yeah.
under
Yeah,
your own definition." I played his words so that he couldn't say I was straw manning him.
yeah.
He is saying that the Bible proves aliens. And that was actually one that I had Dr. Kip in. I was like, I got a guy that is world renowned for, what do you call it? Studying scriptural fraud. Yeah.
Right.
Like seriously, he is like one of the go-to guys in the world for textual forgeries. And I'm like, he is just saying the scholarly consensus of providing another, a counter narrative to aliens did it. You're putting this video back up.
And they did, right?
They did. It's back up. Yeah, it's back up, and the strike is gone. I'm just that one pissed me off. I'm like, how fucking dare you?
Oh yeah, they do that. I mean, the worst offenders with that, as you probably know, is Answers in Genesis.
Mm-hmm.
We say rude things. Can we call AIG a bag of dicks on this channel? Is that allowed?
I have an emote.
Okay,
I have
good.
an emote.
Because AIG is a bag of dicks for their copyright thing. They just
God.
anybody that like mentions them, you get it, and then you have to go through the appeal process. And I've gotten hit. I swear, I've gotten hit with like 5 of them at this point, and I win every one of them.
Yeah.
But like, it's just they make you do it, and they figure that 90% of people aren't going to fight it.
All right. So Eric Hovind might be a bag of dicks. Can you give your your credentials? Why are you here fighting with Eric Hovind and the guy that he's talking to today?
I think it's Brian Thomas who.
Yes, Brian Thomas.
So I am here to deal with this nonsense because I don't know how else to put this. This is my house. I'm an actual expert in this specific thing.
Yep.
And how dare they come into my house with this nonsense?
Ah, the righteous fury. I feel it every time they use the word frequency.
Oh, you know what I forgot to do again? I always do this. All right, we have to find it. All right. Yeah, this is your house. Ha. All right, so, all right, Vandy, how are we going to torture Dr. Dan today?
Well, besides the fact that the free square on the bingo square is powerhouse of the cell, just want to put that out there. We've got bingo. There we go.
Appropriate. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
I did not make him do that. I have no say over bingo.
No, I actually didn't look at the bingo card for tonight, so I gotta grab to see what our words are.
Fair enough.
Oh, while he's doing that.
The title of the bingo game is the one where Dan swears to never come back. So, yeah. All right. Title of the video: Darwin's finches cry foul.
Foul.
Right? Yeah.
Look, I just want to say, as a dad, as a fan of the dad joke, as someone who subjects my students to absolutely indefensible puns over the course of 2 semesters, I'm here for it. That's fine. I'm not going to argue about that.
It's legitimate, right? Totally
fine.
Legitimate.
Fine.
Eric Hovind and Dr. Brian Thomas, another vertical line, Creation Today show. Yeah, you don't. The last part is superfluous. I don't know why you're adding it. Number 360. So it's when we walk up to this video, we do a 360, and we keep on walking right at it, because that's how geometry works. Creation Today Ministry is the channel, and they have a horrifying 31.1 thousand subscribers. This video has a much less horrifying 705 views over 2 years.
2 years.
That is impressively bad. Wow.
We could dunk on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. You'll love to see it.
and
I
14
do.
comments, 36 likes. It's not a high performer.
No, that's some serious standing for truth ratio right there.
Right. Man, you've been dunking on Donnie though. I mean, by rights, by rights. I was the last video you did where he was in a debate. I was not surprised. It was a great video, by the way. But like,
was it the same one? Was it the worst
like
debate?
2 weeks ago?
The worst debate. Yeah, that was painful.
Yeah.
Physically painful.
Yeah. You did a great job though, and I think there's something you said that resonated with me, and it just like, you know, that Donnie refuses to talk to you, and that you've already explained all of these things to him already, and now he's like, you know, kind of what do you call it, like keeping you out while trying to grift for Jesus. It's just it's
just a grift. It's there was on the debate evolution subreddit this week, there was a guy who was like, hey, I'm going to do an online debate. Can anyone give me some tips? And over the course of the thread, it was like, oh, you're going to go on an open mic on SFT with Donnie and Sam? Don't do that. If you're asking for tips on the internet, like, don't do that, dude. Just don't do it. And that person ended up not doing it. And the show was a couple of nights ago. And then somebody else, some other random person that I never heard of, went on there and just like dog walked Donnie. It was fantastic. It was great.
Great for him.
And it was just like this guy. It was great because the person who did it, Donnie was like, well, we could talk about the Y chromosome. The guy was like, awesome, let's go. And it was like, this guy came ready.
Nice. Yes. Awesome. Prepare for your debates, kids.
Yeah.
Excuse me, are y'all with the cult?
Yes, we are.
Welcome back, Al Trucker, who's been with us has been a cultist for 18 months. Al says salutations and greetings from bed. Al is a trucker, and he has to wake up at the ass crack of dawn. So we do love a good night's sleep. Al, thanks for everything you do. Al is our resident bingo maker, although the weasels did take over for him today because I was late with the video. Hi. Please enjoy your topic weasels, your nitties and vaginas. Let's go.
All right.
Welcome to the Creation Today Show, where we bring together interviews with experts and solid Bible teaching.
Remember?
Sorry, 250. Yeah, 250.
250. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Forgot about that.
Let's start there.
I mean, if we're
You're
going to
the
talk about
scientist.
it, we might as well talk about it.
Oh, by the way, you are a PhD scientist, and you did your work in soft tissue in dinosaur bones.
Another fall.
So isn't this like the Mary Schweitzer argument?
Yeah, but here's the thing. Everyone needs to stop using the phrase soft tissue. Tissue refers to cells. Like, everybody think back to your bio class, however long ago that was, right? It's it's molecules,
tissue,
right? It's molecules, organelles, cells, tissues, organs, right? Tissues are groups of cells that are the same type of cell working together as a unit, right? It's like muscle tissue, whatever, for example. What we get from fossils is not tissue in any sense of the word. It's not cellular. It's the remnants of proteins. It's not tissue. It's like polypeptide fragments. It's not tissue. Everyone stop calling it tissue.
All right, but like I've paid a lot of money for collagen injection over the last few years, and they were telling me these came directly from dinosaur bones.
This is dinosaur, dinosaur collagen. Yeah, it's special.
Obviously.
But is there anything like you don't? He's not like lying about his credentials.
No, he's legit. And I want to say, I think he was either the runner-up or the winner of the best creationist category at the Cambrian Bunnies a couple years ago, because he actually had a legit paper published in like some legit chemistry journal. Like, it was totally good. It was about like isolating and identifying like polypeptide remnants from fossils. It was a good paper, totally solid paper. And so because like you had a young earth creationist who actually like did a legit publication, he got a nomination. I forget if he won that year, but he may have. And so like, he's legit. He's wrong about everything else, but he's legit.
Also,
Sorry, Titan says here is like, did that Dan say the new cancer treatment that is just injecting a bacteria normally found in tree frogs in Asia, 100% remission rate in mice?
No, but that sounds awesome. And
Yes.
the new cancer treatments that are like on the horizon are incredible, especially the mRNA cancer vaccines, like the one that the first one that they're working on is pancreatic cancer. And in the one study, which was a very small sample size, but the survival rate after, I think it was like 15 people or something, and the 2-year survival rate with the mRNA vaccine, in addition to like chemo and all the other stuff, was 100% after 2 years with pancreatic cancer, which is
Wow.
Isn't the normal rate like 5%?
It's like the
I
typical
think that might be
prognosis
the
is like
5-year survival might be like 5 or 2%.
oh, I mean the typical is like 6 to 12
Pancreatic-
months once it's diagnosed.
Pancreatic is the worst cancer yet.
Is the worst, yeah.
Category.
And so yeah, like the I'm just as I watch the calendar, tick by, I'm like, let's see if
Nice.
what wins the race, treatment or disease, right? We'll see. But the new ones coming down the pipeline are incredible.
No, I really wish I knew about that because I spent an hour. So I have science deniers in my family. And so last weekend I wasn't here because I was on a family trip in a car with like 15 other people. And
Big car.
yeah, it was a 15 passenger van. So I guess 14 other people, but whatever. And yeah, they're just like, oh, there's never going to be a cure for cancer because, it's more to treat the cancer than to cure it. And I'm like, I don't know why you would have a cure for AIDS. Like some people were 20,000 a day and not cancer. Like if you're going to have a cure, like why wouldn't it look like that? Like it doesn't, I'm not buying it. I don't know. But
Yeah.
it apparently it's, just me. And I'm not, I'm just not up with the latest issue of Big Pharma.
Once again, like for all the shilling we do, is the check in the mail? Like, did it get lost?
I get my NASA money, okay, but I'm firmly more in the flat Earth sphere. You're more in the evolution sphere, so it's a different bureaucracy,
different unions. So we got different ways. Yeah, all right.
I did want to make one observation about this blurb. So he got his master's in biotech in 1999, and then in 2008. Mr. Thomas at that time joined ICR, and then in 2019, Dr. Thomas earned his PhD. He got his PhD from University of Liverpool, which is not a fake university. It's a very legitimate university.
Yeah.
While he was working for a creationist institute. That's pretty rare. Most of the time, I feel like they do the pivot after.
He did a Jensen, right? He went for the degree as a young Earth creationist, intending to use the degree to further the creationism. Yeah.
Use and abuse.
Use and abuse. There you go.
Excuse me, are y'all with the cult?
I do really quick just want to say welcome back to Marin, who is now a anti-magnetologist. So please continue to enjoy your topical results, your maybes and vaginas.
Excellent taste.
In soft tissue in dinosaur bones.
And other fossils.
And you've discovered that all throughout the geologic column, from top to bottom.
Is this the geologic column? Is what's on the screen here the geologic column? I didn't notice this before.
What? Just the AI animation that a lot of the YEC ministries are going all in on is awful. It's so bad.
Is similar soft tissue in fossils, similar collagen amounts in fossils all the way through these.
Right.
The guy is genius, and it's really, really cool to talk to him about the things of science because he can break it down too. Okay, little background. And he's from ICR, Institute for Creation Research, ICR.org.
Yes.
Okay, all right, just had to throw that out there. Sorry.
Before my paleontology-related degree, I also got a couple degrees in the biological sciences, including biochemistry. So it's in the biology side of things. I think that we're focusing today.
Yes.
And I love that. Because it's alive. Yeah.
Oh, that was hilarious. So hilarious that I lost track of what was going on and went to more important things, such as the sinister purpose, renewing her membership for 25 months.
Excuse me, are y'all with the cult?
That's 2 years and 1 month. And Sinister, we're so happy you're back. Welcome, and please continue to enjoy your tapical weasels, your nitties and vaginas, and Eric Hovind's dad jokes.
Start going through the biology, because biology, and it's just the word biology, many people think, well, biology proves evolution. I mean, you cannot take a biology class without being taught evolution.
Not a good one, probably.
Not a good one.
At least indirectly.
Should know it. It's kind of important.
That is matter.
He's actually going to, well, he isn't, but Brian Thomas is actually going to give the money quote on this topic correctly.
Oh,
fact, I remember-
is it, wait, Theodosius Dobzhansky?
Coolest name ever, literally a bingo square.
There we go.
At the school board vote in Florida when they were voting in the new definition, and they said evolution is the underlying factor or something like that in all of biology, and they said that's what we want taught in the public schools, and they brought that in.
Right. It's similar to what we hear.
I feel like we left out a little bit of that history there, like the whole evolution, like spending a century figuring it out and how it underlies all of biology in truth.
Or evolution just being actual science, and creationism not being able to back itself up outside of when looking at evolution.
Isn't it just historical science, though?
I'm going to reach through the computer screen.
Dinosaurs in the age of
That one I didn't do. I did the mitochondria thing.
reptiles that they prove, that is evidence for evolution.
Yes.
And similarly, I think biology has been sort of co-opted or hijacked and meant to equate with evolution.
That's like saying physics has been hijacked to say that gravity is real. Like, to the extent that it's true, it's obvious, and to the extent that it's bullshit, I don't know what you're trying to say.
I just want to say that I'm often told by people who don't know that I'm an evolutionary biologist, like, my favorite is on Facebook, because the Facebook creationists are the worst creationists on earth. They make the YouTube creationists look brilliant.
Wait, are they worse than the Twitter creationists?
I haven't been on Twitter, so I don't know.
Same.
But I will say the face of all the creationists I encounter, which social media is going to be Reddit, YouTube, Facebook. Facebook is the worst by far. It's not even close.
Yeah.
But that is an aside. My point is when a rando on Facebook, not knowing that I'm an evolutionary biologist, will say, "You've been brainwashed." And I like to correct them and say, no, sir. I am doing the brainwashing. My field has not been co-opted. I'm the one doing the hostile takeover. That is my job.
Yeah, that's what I tell people too.
Excuse me, are y'all with the cult?
Sorry, Miranda celebrates 2 months as a cultist. She is a tapioca weasel. Welcome back, Miranda. Hope you're enjoying your tapioca weasels, your nitties and vaginas. Sorry.
Well, did she have another account that also just like became a... Never mind.
Oh, yeah. You guys feel free to have multiple alt accounts and have them all be members. Like, we approve.
Yeah.
I just
and then
saw
go to Dr. Dan's channel, Creation Myths, and do the same.
that too. I just saw that me threatening you is on the bingo card, that's really funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. and somebody just behind the scenes on Discord was like, "That was so fast. I'm impressed." I thought it would take longer than 24 minutes.
No, that was really fast.
Way to go, Dr. Dan. Yeah.
I think it's Dobzhansky said it in his famous quote from like 73 or something.
It's not Jansky.
Nothing in biology
It's this guy. And you called it.
makes sense, except in the light of evolution.
But he got the correct quote, and they put it on the, like, this does not agree with them. This is like...
Right. And that was in an education journal. It wasn't in like a science journal. It was talking about teaching biology and how you cannot make sense of it as a hierarchically organized field without an understanding of evolutionary processes. Like,
Yeah.
And so
Wow.
you see, in that level, it's no longer it's no longer becomes an objective search for how creatures work. It then becomes a subjective interpretation of how creatures got here without a creator. So
I think that Psy said it all, really.
Right?
Like, it's so tiresome. It's just, do you want me to do population genetics math? Because we could sit here and do population genetics math, and like
we haven't answered the question of what an allele is yet, though.
Oh yeah, but it's kind of like where I made a kind of a glib comment on Skeptic Haven earlier when one of the callers was trying to make a similar point, and I'm like, design? Does that mean every god needs a godder?
Right? No, they just special pleading. Just whatever. It's fine.
Yeah.
There's definitely a godder. I want to see the guide and the godder. They need to.
Different rules. Different rules.
At that point, it goes less about the science and more about what I want to believe about where I came from.
Projection much?
So those are two separate issues.
That's
and,
good.
And I think
It's not good.
what
Though
we're on
it's
about
not good, and it's not two separate issues. It's not.
Yeah, no, like, it's all the same issue, which is you don't know how to do science.
Yes, it's just a process of testing ideas. That's all science is. It is a process for testing ideas. It doesn't matter if those ideas concern things in the past. If there is a way to test those ideas, same directly observable, objective science that you can use to figure out how to pick an idea at random that has nothing to do with anything evolution or creationism, how the bacterial flagellum works. Just,
Yeah. But were you there?
We already checked the threatens.
And I hope we get to those finches soon.
Okay.
Because if you look
Even he's like, can we get to the actual thing
at
that
the
we're
finches,
talking about?
right? You got to ask the question, how does it work, and how did that get here? So those are one is an operations question, for which repeatable observable science is the right tool. Gives us good answers.
Hey.
Nope, he's going to get it wrong in a second, though. Wait for the second half.
No, damn it, we got here. All right.
Yeah,
I don't even know what
no,
we invited
no.
you here, Dr. Dan. That was a great show. Wow, we defeated creationism in 27 minutes.
And the second half of the sentence.
Repeatable observable science is the right tool. Gives us good answers. The other is an origins question. How did it get here? That's a past tense question. So you have to you have to use something else. You have to use imagination. You have to use your worldview to interpret, what you're looking at in today.
That's not science.
I don't think this, here's the thing that galls me about this. And like I said, Brian Thomas is better than most young Earth creationists because here's a guy who actually puts his firsthand research that he does and does peer review and gets his stuff published in an actual journal. That is a legit paper. I think it was in 2024 that he published, and good on him. There's almost no creationist doing that. So good job. But here's the flip side of that coin. Because he knows how this process works and how science works, he knows what he just said is bullshit.
Hold on. Are you saying you know better, sir? Or sir, you know better? One of those is a bingo square.
Yeah, I am. Definitely check that bingo square. Yes, he does know better. Sir, you know better. And he's just lying about it because this is a guy, it's like Michael Behe or Nathaniel Jeanson. These are people who are have legit credentials and have published, actually done the process. And so you know how this works. And it's doubly ironic because this is a guy recovering protein material from fossils, right? When did the fossils form? Did you see them form? How do you know they're from dinosaurs?
Were you there?
Were you there? Right? So he's doing the thing that he says you can't do by drawing conclusions about past events, right?
Well, it's kind of a double whammy too. He was like, "Well, you need to use your imagination."
The rocks were there.
The rocks were there.
My copy is.
Yeah.
I need to buy that. Yeah, I feel like everybody has it except me.
All the cool kids have it. It's fantastic.
All the cool kids have it. Yeah, I need to reach out.
And I have it too.
You're a cool kid. That's
all the cool kids have it, and me.
Yeah. So I know, I keep being told that I'm one of the cool kids, but I don't have that book, so I'm feeling left out. I'm going to have to go buy it. But that being said, he said you have to use your imagination. You have to use all these other things. They didn't hear faith. They didn't hear the Bible. He's just he's a bad scientist and a bad Christian. There's just no reason to listen to this guy at all. Maybe that's why the view count is so low. You're just failing at life, sir. You're just failing at life. But you know who's winning at life is Scott Duke. He gave me $5, and I appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. Scott, hope you're still awake. I know it's getting late for you. Scott says, problems with evolution. Don't all Evo biologists study problems with evolution? Thomas wants to disprove all of evolution and replace it with storytime tales.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Oh, he's from ICR. It's going to get so much worse.
It's going to get worse.
It really is.
I've got a frozen margarita right here. Grab your own.
Seeing some of the things on the bingo card, I'm afraid.
Oh, yeah. Did you see the Lamarckian one?
No, but I'm afraid.
How did it get here?
Oh, it's
going to be great.
So it's a worldview issue, and we have two different worldviews that we're talking about. One is of the mainstream worldview that Darwin helped to ensconce firmly into our Western culture, and that is not supernatural, just natural.
Oh, Vandy, Titan said the video was about 10 minutes ago. He said the video volume was a bit low. Did you?
It's as high as I can make it.
All right. Sorry. What do you call it on?
You're a little bit. If we are too loud, then if we.
I can turn my mic down.
No, it's fine. What about the custom, not the custom content? Goddamn, the CC,
the settings. In the studio.
Yes, sorry.
That thing.
I absolutely should have had that on. That's my bad.
All right.
Trust me, not supernatural,
don't let
just
it in.
natural.
What is
subtitles? Thank you.
I always want to know, what do they mean by supernatural? Because I'm one of these people where this is a hill I'll die on. I don't think there's a coherent definition of it.
No, not in science, because science studies the natural. I think, don't quote me, but supernatural would be something that science can't study. Is that what he's getting at, Dr. Dan?
I have no freaking clue. When it comes to, so he's from ICR, which means we're going to end up talking about continuous environmental tracking, which is weird ass, alternative to natural selection. And the way that works is organisms cause specific mutations to happen in response to their environment, and they were supernaturally endowed with that ability?
Yep.
I don't know what that means in practice, right? For me trying to because he said studying how the systems work, right, is objective, real science, right? Mm-hmm. If the organisms were given superpowers, which is what that is, right? They were supernaturally created with this ability. Mm-hmm. In other words, living things have superpowers. I don't know how I'm supposed to study how those work, because that's magic.
The term they use is miracles. We'll get there.
That makes it worse. You see how that makes it worse?
I mean, I would place miracles firmly under magic.
If God can intervene to cause a specific mutation to happen at a specific time, how am I supposed to tell if biological systems are just doing biology, or if God was like, that A is now a T?
Faith.
Never mind that he paid some glib lip service to a creator at the end of the book. That was
we're talking about Darwin,
just to placate, his readers. And but what he really did was eviscerate.
He's trying to plate his readers. Is he serving his readers at a restaurant? Sorry.
The supernatural from the realm of explanatory possibilities.
Supernatural is not an explanatory possibility. It might be a possibility. It's not an explanatory one.
The opposite.
Yeah.
To explain how these things got here. Now, what does all that mean? It means when I approach this bird and I look at how it works, I can believe in creation, evolution, God, no God. I can believe I came from aliens. I can believe anything. As long as I'm looking at the question, how does this work? My worldview doesn't really play as big of a role. But as soon as
fair-ish.
No, you know what? This is the hill I'm going to die on. I disagree. If you think that, one, everything was supernaturally created as some kind of right? And that it did whatever it did from there. And two, that the creator can intervene at any point on an ongoing basis, then no, your worldview does actually affect your study of how things work. Because if creation is your worldview, then you have to be able to account for the possibility that you are being manipulated by miraculous changes that are not just happening through biological processes.
Yeah.
So, no, you can't figure out how things work in an objective way if also God is allowed to trick you in terms of how those systems work.
It's epistemological poison.
It's like if you've ever read the sci-fi trilogy, I forget the name of the trilogy, but the first book is the Three-Body Problem, and then it's Three-Body Problem, Dark Forest, and then
I haven't read the other two.
End, I think. And part of the one of the plots in that trilogy, which is I think worth reading, it's quite good, and my brain was leaking out of my ears by the end of the third book. It gets weird. It gets weird, but part of the thing is the aliens send some particles that can mess with physics, so you can't trust the results of your experiments, and that's basically what this is. So no, if you posit a creator who can intervene on an ongoing basis, you cannot do the observational, mechanistic, how does it work kind of science that he is advocating for, because you can't trust that your results have not been manipulated by that creator.
No, I agree, 100%. But real quick, I just want to say, hello, motherfucker. Skeptic Haven. Thank you for the raid. Thank you for sharing your community with us. Today we are talking to Eric Hovind, who, although he doesn't want anything to do with his own dad, has no problem ripping off all of his material and grifting for cash. Join us to learn how science disproves Darwinian evolution. But also, Scott Duke does not like the look of this guy's eyes.
Oh man, you're right. He's got a lot. There's some baggage.
It's exhausting.
Thank you, Scott Duke.
The origins question: how did this thing get here? Now I'm filtering everything I see through what I already perceive and believe.
You're always doing that.
And so we have this mainstream view that says, how did the birds get here? Eons of evolution. Eons of slow, gradual change. And that's what Darwin promoted. And so when he went to the Galapagos Islands, when he went to South America and his voyage on the Beagle, the famous ship there, he reinterpreted mostly geology, but a few biological observations. And he said,
credit where it's due. Can we just say credit where it's due? He's actually doing a reasonable job describing the Beagle voyage there, because the big thing, the Galapagos finches get all the headlines, but it was really the South American, the Atlantic and the Pacific coast of South America, and then the comparison mainland to island between the South American mainland and the Galapagos Islands. But also, you can see right there in the Atlantic Ocean, he's stopping, they stopped at the Canary Islands and Cabo Verde, and he was also comparing mainland to island there from Africa to Atlantic Islands.
Which one of these is the Canary Islands?
I should know this. I think the Canaries are the one closer to Morocco, and Cabo Verde is down there by Senegal.
Okay. I don't even know what that is.
I think that's right. I'm going to check that real quick because I should know that. We love
fact checking.
I'm a geography nerd, and I should know that. Like, I love GeoGuessr. I should totally know which one is which off the top of my head. Let's
game.
solve this once and for all. Yeah, Cabo Verde is the one that's down by Senegal. So that's the point in there where that's Cabo Verde, and the one above northeast of that's Canaries. Yeah, and then the one out there is the Azores. Yeah,
Okay, yeah, they're just.
Cool.
Did he? Okay, so he was looking at the geology. Did he have the evidence? It looks like he had a stop at Cape of Good Hope sort of region, and then also stop down here. What did he notice any connections there?
I don't know. So here's the fun thing: the whole voyage was 5 years. It took him 4 years to get to Galapagos, and then they were like, "It's time to go home."
Oh, they just booked it.
They just booked, well, because there's a current across there, so you just they just booked it home. But the big thing actually was when they were in was it Chile then? Was it Chile then or not? It must have been Chile then. It was Chile then, and it's still Chile now. He witnessed an earthquake. And the fact, and if you know Chile, it's like a razor thin floodplain and then just Andes Mountains, right?
Yeah.
And so he actually was able to measure like formations before and after the earthquake, and was like, oh, that's a big catastrophic event. And also, even that type of event would take 1 million years to make the Andes Mountains.
Yeah.
So that was a big influence.
He reinterpreted mostly geology, but a few biological observations. And he said, well, look, the finch beaks on this island are a little bit different than the finch beaks on that island. And so, here's an example of what I'm talking about. And it was really more popularized by scientists other than Darwin after Darwin. But they had been convinced of naturalistic, no supernatural, no God in my picture, Darwinism. So they went ahead and interpreted what they're looking at. Okay, there's
Darwin's the Pope of science,
The Pope.
Yeah.
Beak small here, a little bit larger over there. That's we all agree on that. That's the observable
Enzyte for natural finchbeak enhancement
data. How did it get here? How did this bird get here with a smaller beak?
Aren't you so glad every time you come on the show?
It really does. No, I've said this before, though. I've said this before, that this is 100% the right approach to treat these people as completely unserious clowns and just spend hours making fun of them is 100% the right approach. Like, they don't deserve to be taken as seriously as I take them. This is the treatment they deserve.
Yeah.
Yes.
How did that bird get there? They're definitely related. It's the same bird. By the way, they're now reclassified as tanagers. But we're going to call them finches because everyone calls them.
He brought up this whole point, and like I don't actually blame him. I can imagine saying this exact same sentence and then later being like, I don't know why I brought this.
We're going to lay it out there just to let you know we're trying to keep up with the latest science and whatever and names.
You know who we saw? Oh my God, it's been bugging me for like 10 minutes. Who does this dude sound like? You know who this dude sounds like if you close your eyes? And I'm going to ruin everyone's night. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
Sounds like JD Vance.
And dude, I don't listen to enough news, and I'm so happy about it.
My God! Now you can't unhear it.
You can unhear it. Congratulations, everyone! You're now listening to JD Vance for the next hour.
Oh, fuck you!
I'm so glad.
Is there a Dan Trolls Maya square on the bingo?
Why?
I don't think there's a Dan Trolls Maya. There's a Tap Trolls Dan. There's a Dan Threatens Tap or something.
Yeah. I think we've gotten both of those at this point.
Yeah.
We should have gotten both at this point, I think.
I mean, technically, given that I put Powerhouse of the Cells the 3 square.
Just saw someone in the...
What'd they say?
Like, the whole chat is going nuts. Like,
it was the human Tommy. I'm sorry. I just lost it on that one. I'm sorry. I just total...
You know, I actually have purchased on Steam. I legitimately own a game on Steam called Chair Fucking Simulator.
I don't need to know what that is. I don't need to know that that's a thing. Oh,
but you do now. You're welcome.
Oh, man.
Why is it not pressing play?
But how did they get there? That's a past tense question. All right. So Darwin said, here's how it got there. Eons of slow, gradual change. No creator required. Okay. You said you wanted to talk about genetics. Did Darwin have the advantage of knowing genetics?
From what
did Darwin have the advantage of knowing genetics?
Sorry, I'm still caught up on that comment. I'm sorry. And no. No, he did not. That was before. Genetics was the 1860s, but everyone kind of forgot about it for like 30 years. Darwin published in 1859. They never connected. So, yeah, no. Darwin didn't have genetics.
All right, but that's
Oh my
edition
God.
1. How many editions did he publish? He probably mentioned
like at
them
least
all,
five. At least five, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I understand he sequenced their genomes while he was on the Beagle during one of his breaks.
Perfect.
And no, he didn't have genetics at all. No, obviously
Zero.
not.
Zero.
None. He
Yeah.
had literally just measurements of external features on a bird.
Right. So we call those phenotypes.
Oh, nice. Phenotype. He had. Let's just start over. Okay. What I think he had, Brian, was phenotypes. Why are you laughing?
He saw what he could see. Yeah.
Yes.
So many terrible jokes.
Yeah.
So many.
And many of them have not landed.
Which is great. And that's enough, by the way. That's enough. And that's enough for Romans 1:20 to be true.
There was.
I don't know what that means.
They are without excuse. Romans 1:20 is they are without excuse. It's the one that people use to talk about non-believers know in their hearts or something.
Got it.
Romans 1:20 states that God's invisible qualities, his eternal power and divine nature, have been clearly understood and observed throughout the creation of the world.
I don't think they have. I don't think that's an accurate statement.
Well, that's because you're hired by Satan.
I have been accused quite directly of being possessed by demons.
Oh, yeah, obviously.
I had somebody a bunch of years ago on my channel, and then like a week or two later, he was on, I think it was Sal Cordova's channel, and he was just straight up like, yeah, people who promote evolution are possessed by demons. And I was like, I feel like that's a subtweet.
Fair.
Yeah.
Fair.
But what is he saying? He's saying that phenotypes make it so you have to believe in God.
Good see. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. It's the designer designing.
Yeah.
It's enough, by the way. That's enough. And that's enough for Romans 1:20 to be true.
They are without excuse.
Yeah, because
Just looking at them.
just looking at the phenotypes, because what we see. But now we have an extra.
Is there like a book of phenotypes? Can I just look?
They didn't make an argument.
No.
There's no like just moving on. Like I think they would, if you would like spent time there, it would have been maybe like irreducible complexity or something. But like they didn't even try to make the argument. They were just like, and obviously God. Next
Yeah,
thing.
they were like phenotypes, therefore God. Okay.
Yeah.
Normally, instead of phenotypes, it's trees. Look at the trees, therefore God.
Right. It's yeah.
And I gotta say, of the two, look at the phenotypes is more broad and doesn't.
It is
a lot of the look at the trees.
Yeah.
Logic.
Yeah, that's fair.
Can I just see the hat on your shirt? Like I want to.
Oh, it's sorry. This is it's.
Oh, beautiful.
Oh, wait. Yeah, must see. Okay. Oh, that is adorable. What is that?
Vivi. It's Vivi. It's my favorite fictional character of all time. It's Vivi from Final Fantasy IX.
Oh.
It's, if anyone has played Final Fantasy IX and you know Vivi's story, favorite fictional character of all time.
Beautiful.
It's fantastic. I love Vivi.
Excuse me, are y'all with
Vivi
the
is-
cult?
Briefly, I'll just say briefly, Vivi in the game Final Fantasy IX. Again, remember we said before, all the cool kids, and also me. I just want to preface this with that, right? So Vivi is a black mage, but what we learn as part of the game is that the black mages are basically manufactured magically to be mindless weapons for the evil whoever. And Vivi was a prototype and has self-awareness. And the other weapon black mages also sometimes become self-aware. And what they have to grapple with is the fact that they are essentially machines, and they have a finite lifespan. And at some point, they don't have a concept of life and death, but at some point, they're just going to stop, is what they call it. They say, Mr., and they're numbered. So it's Mr. 2244 stopped, right? And so Vivi, over the course of the plot, kind of has like an existential crisis of like, what is the purpose of all of this? At some point, I'm just going to stop. I don't know when, but at some point, I'm just going to stop. And like, therefore, like everything is meaningless. But I have friends and I have loved ones, and the happiness that we provide to each other provides meaning, and we can learn about the world, and we can make the world better while we're here in the small amount of time that we have. And the end of the game, I'm not going to spoil Vivi's storyline at the end of the game. It's fantastic. So Vivi is like the prophet of my religion. He's my favorite fictional character of all time. Vivi from Final Fantasy IX.
Aw, I love it.
He's fantastic.
But also, the human Tommy, who has been an anti-magnetologist for a whole month, is saying, weasels require Weaseler. Those Weasley Weaslers.
Don't tell me what to fucking do.
Advantage in our time and day. It's fantastic. We get to see the infrastructure that builds the structure. We get to see the blueprint that.
Do you know what he's talking about so far?
He's talking about we now can do DNA sequencing, so we know what the underlying the phenotype.
All right. See, the fact that you know this subject so well, I feel like gives you the ability to give him the benefit of the doubt. He's doing such a roundabout bullshit thing, in my opinion.
That's on purpose, though, because you'll notice that, and he might do this later. I'm assuming at some point he's going to talk about like soft tissue and Mary Schweitzer or some BS. And not that Mary Schweitzer's work is bad, but the way they manipulate it is bad. Oh, yeah. And one of the things that we often see here is they make like half the argument and they never cite the thing that they're leaning on. So like it sounds like half legit to an audience who doesn't know what they're talking about. And so like part of like what I have to do when either I'm talking to creationists, I'll have to stop and say, wait, you're talking about this paper, the authors say this, you're saying this, which is wrong. Or I'll have to say, like, here's the rest of the argument you're making, and here's why it's wrong. Because they're they're starting halfway and making the second half without providing the foundation for their audience to understand it, which I think is by design for two reasons. One is that they don't actually want their audience like think critically about this. They just want them to know the words, right? And some of them say this explicitly. Like there's a talk from like a decade ago at this point with Georgia Purdom, a geneticist at Answers in Genesis, where she's literally showing like a list of references. And she's like, don't look these up. You don't have to do that. Let me just tell you what's up. And it was like I don't want you to like actually engage with this. I just want you to know the script. Then the other side is that if you don't provide the full context for the argument, it's harder for the critics to deal with it. And they're always, you can tell just in the way he's talking, it's always in an us versus them, always on offense kind of mindset. So like the framing is very defensive of like, how can I say this so that they can't come back at me? And if you only provide half the argument, and like we were saying about the SFT debate, like you would know some of it, right? But not every like beat of it.
Yeah.
What I want to do is make sure everyone knows every beat of it so that you can hear like the half of it and be like, no, this is what you're trying to say. And here's why it's bullshit.
I love that. Yeah. Oh, but also.
Excuse me, are y'all with the cult?
Mark has been with us for 18 months. Mark is an anti-magnetologist. And Mark says, weasels are evidence of non-intelligent design. Wow, sure words have never been said, Mark. Thank you so much for your continued loyalty to the cult.
I feel attacked.
No, you don't feel that way. Stop feeling that way. You're fine. Hit the play button.
That plan that contains the building code to make a small beak or a big beak. And so geneticists have been at work with Darwin's finches, and I'm excited to tell what they found out.
What does this show? So that you can literally see the information that leads to the small beak and the information that leads to the you said blueprint. Is information another way to say that?
Yes, absolutely. Okay. Yeah.
So we can see the information that leads to the phenotype.
There you go.
I'm going to get some of these big words, man. I'm going to start.
I need some of these big words.
You have been talking about this topic for decades.
Years. Yeah.
You should know
know the big words, Eric. You should know the big words, Eric.
I mean, like, okay, if you've been talking about this subject for decades, should phenotype be considered a big word?
I mean, like, I define that term. For people who don't know, I teach intro bio, bio 1, bio 2, fall, spring semester at a giant university. It's Rutgers. I'm like, everyone knows where I am.
In an intro bio class, you're teaching
like
phenotypes?
freshman bio.
No,
yes, and I'm
yes,
indoctrinating
no.
the youth. Damn straight I am. And phenotype comes up about halfway through the first semester.
Mm-hmm.
So big word. I don't know. If you make your career talking about this, I would think you would know what that means.
Right.
God.
It's also, I will say, phenotype strikes me as one of those words that is a little bit, it has a little bit of subtlety that some of the other ones don't, because it's
Sure.
it's sort of, it's like if you just Google it.
No, and again, I'm not saying that it's not. I agree with petite flower. It's a science. It is a sciencey word. I don't expect the average Joe to know it, but someone who dedicates their life
absolutely
to arguing this,
unquestionably,
like, it should be a It shouldn't come up in like this.
It would be like a physicist going around not knowing how to define energy. The energy is the capacity to do work.
Thank you.
Smart.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, I learned that in the 5th grade, but I don't know. That was in a different timeline. So.
5th grade teacher.
It was either the 5th or 6th grade, yeah.
In 5th and 6th grade, what I was learning was that the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell.
Don't. Troll. Okay. Tab trolls Dan. Hit that cell. That's a cell. That's a big go call. Should do that.
I didn't put multiple ones of that.
Okay, so but I got to contrast the worldviews now.
Okay.
So in one worldview, the Darwinistic, naturalistic, it's chance-based mutations, something like that. That's neo-Darwinism. Neo is the mutations. Darwinism is the selection. And so you throw in some accidental differences.
Does neo mean mutations? Like is that simplification that he just gave? Terrible.
So the neo-Darwinian synthesis, which is like 1930s to 1940s, like by the 40s, you kind of have the neo-Darwinian synthesis. And the idea is you're taking developments in cell and molecular biology and population genetics, and you're applying them to evolutionary processes and like paleontology, right? So you have the underlying mechanism for the variation that Darwin described, and both the mechanism and the pattern of inheritance using like Mendelian processes and population genetics, right? So so you're basically giving the molecular and mathematical basis for evolution. Mm-hmm. That's what neo-Darwinism is.
Okay.
All right, and
excuse me, are y'all with the cult?
Yes.
Nitty has been a member for 29 months. Nitty's one of our day ones. We really appreciate him. Nitty actually has 2 moats. So please enjoy your tapioca weasels, your nitties, and your DKUs.
That's more emote than I have. I have 1 emote.
Well, but you have a whole cult.
I do. Yeah. Fair.
Differences.
And all the memberships are named after you. So, I mean, like, you've got way more than Nitty.
Yeah. I'm empty inside, though.
There's a play button there if you need to be filled with something.
I did, but you keep
selected by who knows what. And then that's what the story says about how one beak got one way and another beak got a different way during the history of these birds. Okay, that's the story. And now here's the thing. It's so powerful.
I know we're never going to finish this. How long is this? 35 minutes? We're going to be here until Thursday. It's not, we know how this works. Like he just said, we understand the genetics now. He just said that. And now he's like, and it's just a story of how one beak gets one way and the other beak gets, dude, we know how this works. We know which alleles, which genes. I see alleles on the bingo card, so I can't wait for that conversation.
Yeah.
Oh my God. But like we know which like sequences do what, and they make the beak longer and they make the beak taller, and it's just like we know, and the relative expression patterns and the duration of expression during development, like it's not a mystery. We know how this works. Oh, we have this story about how the beaks got the way they did.
Yeah, but epigenetics is magic.
No, it isn't. just
right.
chemistry. It's chemistry. I teach epigenetics is so magic. It's literally the second day of biology class. In Bio 1, we talk about chemistry and we talk about functional groups, and methyl groups are one of the groups we talk about, which is the main thing for epigenetics. It's literally on the second day of class. And then like a couple of months later, we get to genetics. And we're like, by the way, remember methyl groups? Here you go. It's the second day of class is the explanation.
Nice. But also, yeah, we're only halfway through, so we have a lot and I see there's a lot of things that are going to be happening.
And my blood pressure just keeps going up.
Oh, yeah, no, it's not going to go down, sir. You remember this show.
I know what we do here.
Your third time here. You know, you're a vet.
I know how this works. If I get if I do 5, do I get one of those jackets like the SNL hosts? Do I get one of the
Oh yeah, a letter jacket.
What you actually get is you get one of my hand-me-down trench coats.
I mean, fair. That's fine.
Yeah,
because it's so simple. That story. Well, we have to complete.
It is simple. Evolution. Okay. So when I heard that line,
we got 4 by the way. It's just. Well, boom.
You're right, but like evolution, Erica has made this point. If you actually look at the mechanism that evolution is claiming, it's just actually complicated. It's right?
Not that hard. I can explain it. I can explain it really easily, and I've actually used this example to explain how natural selection works to like optimize traits. And it's very simple. Take 6 six-sided die. You've got 6 dice, okay? And you roll them all. And every time one is, actually, I'll give you the simple version. What you do is you take the 3 highest and you keep that number the same. And the lowest 3, you re-roll. And then you do the same thing again. And you do it again, and you do it again. And eventually they're all going to be 6. That's how evolution works. That's it.
Yep. It's like optical pumping, but with dice. That was a physics joke. But this is the reason, though. The fact that like the underlying premise, like descent with modification, change in allele frequency over time, the various mechanisms we've seen these. Evolution. I'm an atomic physicist. Evolution is more obviously true than atomic theory is true.
That makes me happy to hear. Yeah.
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 There's a lot more ontological like questions in atomic theory.
Different.
Well, I love the now we're just down a rabbit hole, but I love the XKCD with the 4 fundamental forces, and there's and there's one we don't really understand. There's one we really don't understand, and they're like, is it the strong nuclear force? It's gravity.
Yeah, no idea.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know. Is it
first one somebody named, and we still use the same name?
Yeah.
You know.
Yep. Origins possibility that we want to consider, and that's what we're working on at the institute right here in Dallas, Institute for Creation Research, and that possibility has almost nothing to do with neo mutations or Darwinism, Darwinian selection. Almost nothing to do with that.
He's just making up words now, right?
I know where this is going, and I'm going to let him get there, but literally the thing that ICR is their thing was disproven in 1943. That's where he's going. I know where he's going. It was disproven in 1943.
Compare these origins options side by side. Can we do that for a minute?
Yeah, I'm fascinated by it. I mean, you're literally saying the data that's coming in now, the science that we're seeing now that we can do, is showing neo-Darwinism, mutation, evolution, isn't necessarily what led to the big beak and the little beak, let alone all the animals, coming from a simple-celled creature.
Well, that's the conclusion I'm going to get to.
Okay.
But
That was perhaps a terrible example from Eric because we've directly observed the evolution of multicellularity in the lab multiple times.
Do you have a good
Straight
example
up.
for him to use?
I mean, my favorite is the yeast example. It's a Heron et al. 2019, I want to say, evolution of de novo multicellularity in response to predation, and it was a unicellular green algae that, in its evolutionary history, never had any multicellularity, and you subject them to predators, and they become multicellular. Basically what they do is they divide mitotically and then they don't separate from each other. So they stay and they do it again and again. And in that experiment, the 8 and the 16 cell clusters were like the optimal size. And the key thing in that experiment, the hallmark of multicellularity, was in your cluster of 8 cells, only some of them would reproduce. So you had germline somatic differentiation. Morphologically, the cells looked the same, but functionally, they were differentiated into somatic and germline cells. And that is the hallmark of multicellularity because it means that you have an inclusive fitness situation where the non-germline cells, because they're genetically clones of the germline cells, in terms of your fitness, which is your the representation of your genetic material in the next generation, it's the same whether you're directly doing that contribution or not, because the two groups, the germline and the non-germline, they're clones, they're identical. So in that experiment, you had persistent de novo multicellularity evolve, and what they did is they evolved them for 2 years with the predator to get the multicellularity, and then they removed the predator, and the multicellularity persisted for 2 more years, which was the duration of the experiment. They stopped after the 4 years.
Yeah.
And that is a direct refutation of ICR's bullshit continuous environmental tracking, because the point is you respond to the environment. If you remove the selective pressure of the predator, the multicellularity should go away, but it didn't. So that was not a great example for Eric to pick right there, because that just everything.
My question was, do you have a great example for him for his point?
What was his point?
I don't. His point is that everything you just said is wrong and bad and dumb. And my point is there isn't a good example for his point.
No.
Because it's not how reality works.
Because it's wrong in every possible way. And specifically, the fact that he picked multicellularity is hilarious.
It could be
right
more
there.
hilarious. He could have picked the evolution of the eye.
Oh, God.
Right?
You can literally scientifically take us through that.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying, let's try on these different options.
Okay.
Let's try on these different explanatory models. So that's the Darwinian model. We've described that. What about a particular creation-oriented model that does allow
There's a creation-oriented model?
It has a divine foot in the door.
Oh.
A particular creation-oriented model that does allow a divine foot in the door, if you will, that does allow miracles to have happened. So if we have a theistic God who exists outside the universe, who created the universe, and can interact in it anytime he wants, that's the God of the Bible, okay? Then miracles are possible.
Does that model breed novel testable predictions?
But how can I evaluate if literally anything is possible through divine intervention? How can I evaluate how anything works mechanistically? This is what I was saying before. You can't do the how does it work science if miracles are allowed.
Oh, well, it happened, therefore God.
And can interact in it anytime he wants. That's the God of the Bible. Okay.
Sorry. We don't have a Maya Trolls Dr. Dan Square here.
I should have put it on. In retrospect, I feel bad for not putting the
That was just...
Possible.
I try.
In it anytime he wants. That's the God of the Bible. Okay. Then miracles are possible. Okay.
So what about my atheist friends would say, but then you can't do science because you don't know if that was a miracle or not.
I would say that. Wow. I would and will say that.
Who knew you were a friend of Eric Hovind?
It's like he's reading my mind, because if I'm looking at because let's be clear about what Dr. Thomas here is saying. He's saying that God can make changes to biological systems, right? for whatever reason, right? You don't have to get in the mind of God. It's just that it is a thing that can happen. So if I document a mutation, how do I know that that mutation was just your regular old stochastic mutation? Or if God said mutation, how can I tell? How can I tell which mutations are the God mutations?
Let's boil it down even more. What he's saying is anything can happen at any time for no reason whatsoever.
Right. Yeah, and that's creationism, but that is creationism.
Yeah.
Which I don't know. Like, it's just so crazy to me. Like this perspective where you have to suspend reality, really. And again, I know I say this a lot, but like coming out of like Catholicism, it that belief that the study of the world around us should get us closer to God, you know, and then it's just
man,
as on your hat, right?
As someone who grew up Catholic, I have to say, like the whiplash of like the Catholic Church now relative to everything else that's going on has been quite something to absorb.
Fair.
Like, it's like, huh.
Red herring.
Okay,
of course you can know if it's.
Oh wait, hold on.
But then you can't do science because you don't know if that was a miracle or not.
Well, that's a red herring.
That's a red herring.
I want to hear it explain.
You can know if it's a miracle or not.
Because
of course you can know if it's a miracle or not.
The way you recognize a miracle is
okay.
Wait, hang on. I gotta hear how we would recognize a miracle.
Okay, I'm sorry. I have to say. I mean, okay, like just as a Christian, you should want to know the difference between natural stuff and miracles because that's how you would know when God is working. Am I right?
Right. Yes.
He agrees, and he's about to point out that of course you can tell if it's a miracle or not.
Shut it up.
No, this is one of the most triggering like sections of the video.
But then you can't do science because you don't know if that was a miracle or not.
Well, that's a red herring.
Okay,
of course you can know if it's a miracle or not.
Because it would go against science. It would go against the norm. It would go against the
way you recognize a miracle is that it goes.
That's true.
That it goes against the natural.
Wait, what?
Well, then how?
Wait, that doesn't make any sense with what he just said. He's like, we put away science because creationism, which is just miracles happening. But then, like, if miracles are always happening, then how do we know when miracles happen?
Because they go against science.
I mean, it's kind of like what I'm saying. It's just like miracles happen, therefore God. Like, it happened. It happened, therefore God. Like, it's a little infuriating just, like, because, for me, at least, he's refuting his own point. Yes. Miracles should be a special thing. We should, like, if we see them, we should praise God when they occur because it's outside of the norm. So that therefore you would want to embrace science so that you could know when to embrace God.
All right.
But it feel like he's like talking in circles. I'm sorry, go ahead.
It's like it has to be like because it would be a statistical outlier.
Like, that's the best steel man I could imagine for his point.
Yeah, like I said earlier, like I take this stuff this stuff way more seriously than it deserves to be taken, right? So he's saying like you can draw. And in my head, it's like, oh, you do a probability distribution, and if it's over here, then it's a miracle. And I'm like, how do I know that's not just a data point in the distribution? How do I know it's not just part of the distribution?
If it has non-zero support in that part of the PDF, then you will get an observation that falls there eventually.
Right.
Yeah. And even if it's zero, it's sort of like if you choose a random point in a square, the odds of it lying exactly on the diagonal are zero. The actual probability is zero. It's obviously still a thing that can happen.
It's a thing that can happen. I mean, look, I mentioned earlier that I'm a geography nerd. I was playing GeoGuessr yesterday. I got a location, no joke, in the town where I grew up.
Wild.
Like, how does that happen? Of literally every Google Street View that exists, right? The town where I grew up was like teeny tiny. It was like a square mile. And like, so of all the street views in that town, over all of the street views in the world. That rounds to 0.
Yeah.
And it happened.
Yeah. It's wild.
That's funny because that's a great point. The whole point.
It's a terrible point. The point that you can just have miracles, and miracles are obvious because they violate science. When you're trying to describe how you should fold miracles into science, that is part of the point he is making, is that you need to account for miracles in science. If you're accounting for miracles in science, and then you're defining miracles as the part that completely what are we doing?
Basically saying, if you define a miracle as a miracle, it can't be a miracle. They're literally missing the entire point.
Totally.
Am I?
Oh, that's interesting. That's good.
Yeah, totally.
I gotta use that.
I think on that, I think I missed that whole point. I have no idea.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. I think I missed the whole point.
I agree. I'm going to go on the record. I agree with Eric Hovind on that one. I think I missed the whole point. I don't know what that dude was trying to say right there.
Fair.
To change, I mean, does it have the ability to change? Or does the environment have the ability to change the beak from the outside? So Darwin, he was all about the outside, all external. He's like, yeah, the environment did this.
No,
the environment didn't do it.
No.
What is he talking? That's the opposite of how Darwin works.
He should know better. Actually, he was talking about things that made more sense than whatever the fuck he's saying right now.
That's a great one-line description of Final Fantasy IX.
Oh, wait, what Jester's saying here?
Confidence man both saves and steals the kingdom while Best Bro learns to deal with existential dread. Yeah, that's Final Fantasy IX, basically. Yeah. And it is one of the all-time great video games. It is art.
It's not even the like most famously good Final Fantasy game.
But it is. I think the best.
And I've never played any of them.
7 gets all the headlines, but 9. Also, 7 and 8 are both like diesel punk. 9 is straight up steampunk. It's fantastic. Yeah, 9's where it's at.
Thanks for derailing the stream, Jester.
It was maybe shortages in food, or maybe weather patterns, or maybe predators, influences from the outside that forced these creatures to adapt over time through chance-based.
By the way, he never ever says the words continuous environmental tracking in this.
But that's what he's describing. Also, I had my eyes closed there on purpose, and good Lord, J.D. Vance is doing creationism at me, and I hate it so much.
Okay, in contrast.
J.D. Vance is Catholic. He should know better.
No, you know what the best part of J.D. Vance... See, you know how J.D. Vance just came out with a book on his conversion to Catholicism? Everyone know this?
No.
On the cover of his book, you show that cover to any Catholic and be like, what's the problem here? And I did this with some members of my family. I was like, this is about his conversion to Catholicism. Your reaction, please. And they just start laughing because the church on the cover of the book is clearly not a Catholic church.
Yeah, no, it's not. Like that's not how.
Share if you have it up. Share the stream. Yeah, zoom in on that church. Zoom in on that.
Can I? Will it let you?
Yeah, there you go. Zoom in on that. Zoom in on that church for us. Open the image in a new tab.
I'm trying to, but it knows enough to like not
let you do that.
I'm working on it. I got it. Here we go. All right. This looks like it's just
That is the opposite of a Catholic church. That is actually someone tracked it down. That is a Methodist church in Virginia.
I would have bet money that this was on the Eastern Seaboard.
Yeah, I was thinking that too.
It's like Appalachian Virginia Methodist Church. Yeah.
I would have put it further north.
Also, J.D. Vance, I guarantee you, hates Methodists because Methodists are constantly getting like ejected from whatever society for being too cool with like gay people and stuff. So like the fact that he used a Methodist church on his book about becoming a Catholic fascist is just peak.
So Jester, who's been a member for 29 months, is saying, now I want to break it down with Dr. Dan. No, this is not a Final Fantasy stream. God damn it.
Let's go.
Damn it, Jester.
Man,
But then RaceNet is like,
6 was great.
yeah, 5. Wait, what is this? 4 and 6 are
Yeah,
the best games.
6 is great. 6 is phenomenal.
Yeah.
What's the
Yeah.
worst?
Oh, fuck.
I don't know. I've only done 6, 7, 8, 9.
You guys need to be happy. I like money.
In contrast, let's try on this model and see if it fits the new genetics data that are coming in that I'm about to describe. What about this idea that the originally created birds were endowed by their creator with the inalienable right to adjust their
We got Thomas Jefferson style genetics up in here.
own beaks by themselves?
I think there's 2
and
of those.
Equipped these
I got
creatures.
inalienable rights to adjust beaks on there.
Oh,
And Thomas Jefferson. Ooh, I got bingo on Thomas Jefferson style genetics. I got bingo.
there we go.
Yay.
with
Does anybody
the
else
tools
have bingo?
necessary by themselves.
Besides Dr.
Kip.
Kip?
Yeah.
No, Kip
enough.
always
Fair enough.
Kip plays with 16 cards. So Kip always has bingo. Does anyone besides Kip and Dan have bingo?
Petite
A bunch
fly.
of people have said it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Also-
I have a bingo. Look at me.
Fun fact. I'm getting into business as a data broker, but it only kicks in if you have more than 5 bingo cards. I have mined Kip for so much data. It's crazy.
And equipped these creatures with the tools necessary to develop from within these little eggs either big beaks or small beaks. And they're not that much bigger, they're not that much smaller, but this is a possibility that we ought to at least see if it fits the data, I think.
What if
I've
the
got 2
animals
bingos.
are endowed by their creator, these finches are endowed to create either big or small? Like they have the
They make the
information.
adjustment from within themselves.
They make the adjustment from within they choose. They choose to grow a big beak or can I choose to grow taller?
Does one of them actually say that? Because I see that on the bingo card.
No, I'm asking that.
I mean, that's a possibility.
Well, it gave me bingo for a 3rd time, so thank you.
You're welcome.
I grant it. That's okay. That would make sense. God could program something that has that ability.
Now, how would we test and see if that's what we're looking at? One good way.
My understanding of what he's describing is that you have a young animal, you have an environmental pressure, and it is able to change its genes in order to acquire a different allele and adapt dynamic. This is Lamarckian,
It's,
isn't it?
I mean, it's Lamarckian, but stupid.
Fair. You're right. I apologize to Lamarck. Back
Yeah,
then,
because
that was a completely
Lamarck-
legitimate
Because Lamarck
idea.
had the
Is it
benefit.
stupid just understood though?
Like, Lamarck had the benefit of not having the entire field of genetics at his fingertips, right?
He was at the frontier. He had an
Right.
idea. It was wrong, but
he
most people
tried.
thought it was probably right. Also, right?
right. There was a debate between like the Lamarckians and like the Mendelians for a while. Like that was a thing for decades, and the Mendelians came out on top. But like the Lamarckian, like that was before we understood genetics. Like that was one of the hypotheses on the table. That was in the 1800s. So I would love to hear ICR's excuse.
You're not going to get it.
No, I'm not. Can we just while
No,
we're here,
if
can we
you
just,
had an excuse, Dan would know it.
well, can we just preemptively like put this to bed? Because what the ICR thing, and this comes from like Randy Galusa, who is president of ICR, that it's called continuous environmental tracking. It's an engineering-based paradigm of adaptation where organisms have sensors and they detect their environment and then they respond proactively to their environment by inducing specific changes. Like they can cause specific mutations to occur that are going to lead to the desired phenotypes, which is a big, complicated word that we all know now. Thank you, Eric. And This mechanism of evolutionary chains was disproven in an experiment from 1943. It was the Luria and Delbruck fluctuation test, where they took various populations of bacteria, evolved them on a petri dish, and exposed them to bacteriophages. And then basically you can predict, based on the mechanism of adaptation, what the relative frequency of resistance will be across all of those different petri dishes, all those different populations, right? If the bacteria are affirmatively adapting to the new environmental conditions in like a purposeful way, then the frequency of resistance should be approximately equal across all those populations. If it's just due to the stochastic process of mutations that are neutral with regard to result, then who knows, the random, I should say, with regard to outcome, then some of those bacterial populations will have had a resistance mutation early in their history and lots of resistance will exist. Some will have it later on in their history and they'll have intermittent resistance. Some will not have resistance at all, right? And when you do that experiment, you see these giant fluctuations in the frequency of resistance, indicating that the mutations are stochastic, they are not deterministic, right? And then, and now that does it. But then there was a follow-up experiment, and I'm looking up the year. That was 1952. So this is 9 years later. It was 43 and then 52. In the Lederberg experiment, what they did is they did the same thing, but then they went to what they did is they took the petri dishes and they like cloned them onto another dish and then exposed them to the bacteriophages. And then they went back to the original petri dishes and said, was it a response on that second dish, or did the mutations exist in the first dish? And the answer was, if you had like a bunch of bacterial colonies on a plate, and you did the first one, and then you did the second one, they were the same pattern of resistance, showing you that it was not a response. It was that they actually pre-existed in those lineages. And so it was a kind of a step forward from the original experiment, showing directly that the experiments were historical to that population, not new post-exposure. And that disproves everything ICR does. Like straight up, those two experiments disprove everything ICR does.
That is really cool. I love having you on.
And that was from, thank you. That was very kind of you. And that was from 80 and 70 years ago. Yeah. So
I also love having you on because you're able to explain better than anybody else.
For fuck's sake. Is that a play button?
Programming would mostly entail the genetics, the genes. And so
you're able to explain better than anybody else that the mitochondria is power.
Oh my God.
I'm very proud of my cellular respiration lecture in class. I made a beautiful figure. Don't get me started on graphic design and science communication. My goal is to do that, but for science. And my cellular respiration illustrations are really nice.
God, you're so hot right now.
So as biologists, do great quality work in observing and asking and answering the question, how does this work? Regardless of worldview, they're pulling in good answers.
Okay.
And these good answers are leaning toward a more creation-friendly option for the answer to the question, how did it get here?
Are they, though?
So that's a lie. A lie.
Outright lying, if we didn't have it already.
Straight up.
I love how they love to conflate evolution with abiogenesis.
Oh, yeah. That should be on it. That should be the free space, honestly.
Seriously.
I mean, not if you're a guest.
It should be.
I can't wait to see what the free space is going to be next time.
It'll be the same
thing. They tested the genes. That they looked for, are there genetic differences between the bird with the big beak and the bird with the small beak? Is there a genetic? And they found a gene. There's an allele. There's two different versions of this.
I feel like he said that weird.
It's allele.
Helps, and they found a gene. There's an allele. There's two different versions of this gene that helps the developing baby bird develop a thicker beak. Then a different team found another gene that helps the developing baby bird develop a longer or shorter beak.
Yeah. You've got beak length and beak depth. Yes, like that's how it works. And there's different versions of those genes, and then which version you have, and and how the duration of expression during development also matters. And you get different peaks. Yes. Like
he alludes to that.
What does that mean? So they're finding genes, and these genes have slightly different versions of each of the same gene.
God, his creationist J.D. Vance. God damn it.
Man, I'm so glad I never listened to J.D. Vance.
God damn it. This man is creationist J.D. Vance, and it's killing me.
Next time we'll put him on auto-tune.
I'm not convinced that J.D. Vance isn't a creationist Catholic.
I'm convinced he is. Well, he's a lying grifter who will do whatever he needs to get more power. Like he's completely divorced from any actual opinions and convictions. He is.
No, I believe that, but like, how did he grow up? I would be.
Haven't you ever read Hillbilly?
No.
I have actually. Yeah.
Have you? God. Yeah.
There was a period.
Given where he grew up, it makes sense that he would have been a creationist. And I'm just as a Catholic who was seriously, like Catholics, like you come out, they have to take you down to the church immediately, because if you die before you're baptized, you're going to hell. Like God doesn't care, right? So you have to be baptized immediately. And then I went to a Catholic preschool. I went to a Catholic middle school. Elementary and middle school. I went to a Catholic high school. Talking to Catholics who didn't go through all of that, it's different. Like the things that they pick up.
Yeah, I did not do all that, but I did CCD, all that.
Yeah. And so you'll get Catholic. I mean, again, he just became Catholic. They don't I learned what I learned from nuns because I went to a Catholic school, to a Catholic middle school, a Catholic high school. And they were like, yeah, the Big Bang is all the rage. It's what all the cool kids are doing. They're believing in the Big Bang. But because, it was, developed by a priest. And the Pope was like, yes, this proves that there was a beginning. We were right. You were wrong. Suck it, non-Catholics. And
checkmate atheist.
Well, all non-Catholics are going to hell. God hates all of you, okay? But that being said, it was just there was just, I don't know, just centuries Catholics have been promoting science because God would, you would be able to see, it's just okay, if you, let's say you lost a parent and you're trying to get to know about your parent, you would go through their things, you would talk to their friends, you would the things that they collected, the things that they were interested in, that would tell you about who the person was. And so too is the study of the world around you. So it made no sense to divorce oneself from science. And, it was more science it wasn't that we need to not observe science for the world to make sense. If there's something where the science isn't making sense, then the science just needs to catch up with the Bible. And it'll happen. We just need to be patient. It just, but for somebody like J.D. Vance that didn't grow up hearing this every year, I could see him still being a creationist.
There is, I put a link in the YouTube chat, but I don't think it'll go through because you probably wisely have links blocked, but I also put it in the private chat. So if someone else wants to put it in the YouTube chat, there is a classic, I forget if it's a tweet or a skeet or whatever, but it's just this lifelong versus Catholic convert thing is
the whole thing.
Striking. It is capital A, capital T, a thing.
Hey, Tab, can you open this or no?
Already there.
Oh, perfect. Every lifelong Catholic I've ever met is I think we're supposed to give this food to poor people. And every adult convert is the Archon of Constantinople. The Pentecostal rites of the Eucharist clearly states women shouldn't have driver's licenses.
And if you listen to J.D. Vance talk with other Theo bros, that's what they sound like. It's fucking crazy.
Oh, this is crypto bro in the religious circle.
It's Catholic crypto bro. Yes, that's exactly the vibe. It's Catholic crypto bro. Yes. Uh-huh. Yup.
Yeah, no, yeah, all of this. All of this.
I just want to say, thank God for the wisdom of our Lord and Savior, the original poster here, the Substack of Boba Fett.
Just like the fact that the internet has made the world flat. 20 years ago, nobody would have heard of that. Like, this would never have gotten in front of people. This is brilliant insight. And there's like, somebody did, this is totally off topic, but it's okay, because it's,
it's all on topic.
We do. Somebody did like a curriculum of like political science just based on like tweets. And it legit like brilliant explanations of like modern conservatism and this, and like this was in there. And it's there was another one where it was somebody had the thread of like modern conservatism is very simple. It's there is an in-group whom the law protects but does not bind, and there's an out-group who the law binds but does not protect. And there was like an essay after that, but like that one thing was like, there it is, right there. And it was, I've since lost it to, the sands of time on the internet, but someone compiled a bunch of these, and this was on the list, and it's great.
This is great. It's long, but not a single word is wasted.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Our textbook, our old definition of an allele. It's actually more complicated than that, but we do have genes. There are some alleles that just reduce to that, okay? A different version of the same gene. Does that make sense?
It does. So I'm thinking back to what I learned in school.
You were homeschooled by your dad, were you? Yeah.
We all had the thought.
I don't know if this means it's changing or not. What I learned is you could have your genes from your mom, have your genes from your dad, and so
I do like the closed captions getting the wrong genes here.
Genes, yeah.
Apple bottom jeans.
The most you would know the word, but the most like the blue eyes are the dominant gene takes over a recessive gene, and so that's what.
How does this man not know the words dominant and recessive?
He froze for a moment, and he did know it. Like, he did get it. He didn't have to get right.
It's his career.
You're right.
Because he's Eric fucking Hovind, and he's a goddamn grifter.
I know what it's like to freeze on a thing that you absolutely know in front of an audience.
That's fair. I'm sure I've done that in class. That's fair.
Determines whether they have the short beak, the long beak, the thick beak, the skinny beak. That's what you're talking about?
Okay, that's a Mendelian, named after Gregor Mendel. That's a Mendelian inheritance pattern.
Okay.
And it doesn't describe most traits.
True.
You know why? Because it's generally a lot more complicated than that.
Really?
But it does describe his pea plants, the traits in his pea plants. Okay.
All right, that's not PE plants.
Why would you?
What?
So most traits are phenotypes. Our new word for the day.
Yeah, our phenotypes. The phenotypes of the peas and the
determined through other inheritance patterns, where you might have. There's one inheritance pattern where the higher the number of genes gives you that are expressed. So it's not like dominant and recessive. It's like this one's turned on, but the other 5 are turned off.
Okay,
Really?
Okay. That's called additive genetic variance. It's basically like height or skin color is a good example of this, because it's not which genes you have to be tall, it's how many. And it's like you've got like 20 genes, right? And 12 of them say be tall and 8 say be short, and that puts you somewhere. Yeah. And it doesn't matter which 12 or which 8, it's just like which ones are pushing in which direction, right? It's additive is what he's describing.
That makes sense, because I learned from a brilliant scholar, Eric's father, in fact, that's why Chihuahuas are small, because they got rid of all of the genes that make them big. And also he concluded their genomes are just smaller because they literally just got rid of the genes, and it's apparently not a rounding error.
I don't know how Kent became, and I'm using the word I'm about to say in a relative sense, but I don't know how Kent became such a successful cult leader, because he is one of the dumbest people I've ever encountered in my entire life.
Well, I mean, he's able to read and write English to some extent.
Have you read his dissertation? Because
not some the whole thing
is
but yes,
doing a lot of work there.
I have it on one of my hard drives, and that's like a problem because that might be a crime. I'm not really sure how, but it might be.
I have it.
Oh, so
I've read
the
it.
skinny beak and the thick beak and those genes are all in there. Is that?
By the way, we're about to watch him just completely lose the plot. He's like, I don't even know what I was talking
Forgive
about.
me for I'm trying to follow this.
Well, I got distracted by the Mendelian inheritance.
Okay,
kind of thing.
okay.
So let's go back to the beaks. So what? Yeah. So those of our listeners who have heard about dominant and recessive inheritance patterns, yes, that's exactly what we're talking about. But that's just baby step genetics. Okay. And what I was trying to say there was there are many other inheritance patterns where different genes combine in different ways to ultimately give rise to a trait as it develops from an egg. Okay.
Okay.
So there are genes. Now, when they discovered this gene for beak thickness, when they discovered this other team, a gene for, and these discoveries are coming out just within the last 10 years. So maybe some of these 5 years ago, something like that. It's just now coming out. It's really exciting. What that tells.
I feel like I've been teaching the thing he's talking about for more than 5 years. Like the thickness and the depth of the beaks and I feel like.
Did you teach the specific correlation to a specific identified gene? Because I think that's technically what he's talking about here.
Maybe. I feel like I don't know. I feel like I have, but maybe I'm wrong. But I feel like this is this doesn't seem new to me.
I would hope it's not new to you.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Tells us is that you don't need any finches or tannins.
But like, did you notice how long I went without pausing there? It was because this guy actually he knows what he's talking about.
And his brain had to do a reset.
Exactly. It had to do a reset, so he had to like do his whole ramp up through a whole bunch of fairly uncontroversial statements.
Right. He had to do a restart there. Yeah. All right. So you don't
Die. There's no survival of the fittest here. It's just you need some of these to have one version of the gene, one allele, to be expressed, and others have another allele to get expressed. Okay? No death.
Is he saying allele?
I gotta say, I feel like that's gotta be partially a consequence of the fact that, by the way, I now have this at 1.5.
Okay.
Still
Sure.
totally listenable. I don't think it was that obvious at normal speed, but he's saying it weird.
Okay.
wait, hang on. Sorry. He thinks that the population can change without selection because they can just like you don't need death generation to generation. But
no, you just change during the generation. That's
but they have too many kids. That's like Darwin counted. Like, has this man read anything from
I'm not
Darwin?
convinced.
Because one of like when I'm teaching like Darwinism, like the first, like, hi kids, let's learn evolution for the first time today. Like, we go through Darwin's observations and we're like very clear about this is an observation, this is an inference, this is a conclusion, right? We like very clearly lay it out. One of the observations is called overproduction, which means a population has more kids every generation than the environment can support. So they have the capacity for exponential growth, but over generations, the actual numbers stay flat, right? That's called overproduction. That's not like a hypothesis. You can just count how many kids there are every generation and how many of them live to adulthood, right? You can just count. And what he's saying is, no, you actually don't have all that death every generation, which makes me wonder why I am not existing in a cloud of finches or whatever they're supposed to be called now, right? Why am I not just covered in these birds? Because if they're growing exponentially, which they have the capacity to do every generation, which is directly observed, and we have a mechanism of adaptation where they're not dying because some of them are less fit than others, like the whole planet would be covered in these birds. How does this work? Like, the death is not part of Darwinian evolution. The death we can observe. We can just count them. And Brian, we can just count them. There's a lot of death happening. Like, you can't say you don't need the death for the evolution. That's not optional. The death is happening.
Yeah, if you didn't have death, you've run out of resources, and I mean that in like the literal molecular sense.
The
you
economics
run out of atoms. You run out of atoms to make the new creatures from.
Like what you said earlier, energy is the capacity to do work. You have a finite amount of it, and there's only enough work to make so many adults.
Yeah. And eventually it's just gonna, like, you ever see that XKCD what if about, like, what if the moon were entirely made of moles?
Yes, I have seen.
That's what happened.
What?
Yup. That's what would happen. So whole planet finches.
Exactly.
Oh, gotcha.
Transformation of existing population into next population while respecting conservation of mass on the planet Earth.
Yeah.
You're going to get to a situation, and it's going to happen really rapidly.
Real fast.
Out of control. Where the entire Earth is finches, which is...
Right. If they never die... Like,
I mean, if they never die, I guess the ones in the middle are just going to have a really, really hot time.
They're going to get really hot. Especially because birds are warmer than mammals, so it's worse.
And they're hollow. Oh, God. The amount of bone breakage.
Required. In other words, the genetics are showing that the different alleles that help determine the different beak shapes and sizes, those are already embedded in the creature. Exactly consistent with what the creation-based model would predict, saying, what if God endowed these creatures with the blueprints to deploy these different trait options for different reasons at different times? We don't know. Maybe it's random, maybe it's not random.
Bro, you are not giving a whole lot of scaffolding for actual useful predictions in any way, shape, or form.
Wait, I mean... Is anybody gonna like question his definition of random? No? Is it just me?
This is why when I talk about this stuff, I really like the words probabilistic or stochastic, because you say random, people think a coin flip, people think a dice roll, and it's not. It's a weighted random distribution. So probabilistic or stochastic describe how these processes occur. And like, who's to say? I don't know, maybe we could fucking do an experiment. Maybe we did that experiment in 1943. Now we know.
Let's investigate that. This is an exciting new era of biology.
It's not new. That was 80 years ago. It was 80 years ago. It's not new.
Yeah.
Along the times of engineered biology, and we're thinking in terms of, we've been looking for mutations to explain everything in biology.
This is painful.
For the last 100 years, and guess what? They don't explain anything but diseases.
Mutations don't explain anything but diseases.
Today I learned lactose tolerance is a disease. I could tell you, I could look it up and probably in a minute tell you the specific like nucleotide mutations that cause lactase persistence that allow you to drink milk as an adult without having gastrointestinal distress. But apparently that is a disease.
There are even a few, there's not that many because, genetics is complicated, but there are a few specific like phenotypes and alleles that are single base pair.
Yeah.
Like the one that I know off the top of my head, I think is attached versus unattached earlobes or something.
That's a strictly Mendelian trait. Yeah. The tongue roll is another one.
That's wild to me. It's so weird to me that could even be.
That's
genetic.
A phenotype, right? Like why? Yeah, I don't know.
Why?
But there is a malaria resistance allele that's completely separate from sickle cell allele,
okay.
Right? There's that's a thing. There's the two alleles that are at much higher frequency in Tibetan populations that facilitate higher blood oxygen saturation.
Yeah,
right? These are mutations. They're just literally just single nucleotide substitutions that occurred at some point in human history and have been selected for in specific environments. And Eric and what's his name here, Brian, they're like, oh yeah, the environment causes the organism, like the freaking X-Men or something, to like evolve a new superpower. And it's like, that's not what happens. We know how this stuff, we can directly observe these processes. He's talking about how, oh, we know the genes now, and it all looks like, no, we know the genes, and that tells us exactly how this stuff evolves, like straight up. Unless you're allowed to have miracles where the mutation that happened, you can't tell if it was a regular mutation or a miracle mutation.
Racer for $5 says, Dr. Dan is the first person I've heard properly define random with genes.
It's almost like I do this for a living.
As opposed to what Eric does for a living, and I can't believe he makes a living doing this.
We're all in the wrong field. I've joked / not joked that like if I go full nihilist, like
me too. Oh my god.
Like I'm gonna go full like supplement grifter. Like I'm
we gotta team up. We gotta team up if you're gonna do that, because power in numbers. And
and just like developed by 2 PhD scientists, like and just like get the MAGA and MAHA people to just like buy your nonsense.
Look, you clearly developed this plan on my stream, so I need a finder's fee.
You do. You're also you also need a finder's fee, because you're gonna have to take this conversation off of YouTube.
Off of the internet.
I would
scam people.
I will do it for the low price of 5%.
Fantastic. It would be so easy. It would be so easy to just do like a right-wing supplement grift. Like it would be so much easier than my actual job.
Hardest thing, sleeping at night.
Look. An extra comma in my bank account would make it real easy to sleep at night.
So much easier to sleep under a roof than under a cardboard box. I'm just saying.
Look, also knowing that the people I was grifting were like MAGA, so much that would make it. I would sleep like a baby.
All right. No, we love you guys. We do. We would never.
I would never.
Look elsewhere. And these evolutionary biologists are finding almost by accident, oh, this is not happening by death of the unfit. It's happening because the options are already in there. Alleles are
what does that mean?
So it's almost like when Darwin said, oh, mutations cause this. It's almost like when we followed that stopped us from doing the science that they're doing now to be able to actually discover what is causing it. We kind of almost put...
Who does he think figured out epigenetics? You think ICR figured that out?
Oh, the devil.
Probably.
Clearly, yes.
Oh, it was the devil. Right. It was.
I need to get that. Could it be Satan?
Yeah.
I need to get that. Yeah. It was clearly the devil, because that was the only person that would thwart the will of God.
Science on pause for a little while. Is that?
Well, I mean, technically, Darwin didn't know about mutations because that's the genetics. The genetics came after Darwin, so it was the post-Darwin follower.
He knew about change with modification, though. Right?
Descent with modification, yeah.
Descent with modification.
That was the phrase, yeah.
And the modification part is functionally in the theory that he was providing. Mutation is one particular way that like he may not have used that word, but like
he didn't propose a mechanism for the variation, but variation was a key part of his thing. And the idea is that mutation would underlie the variation. We now know it's mutation and recombination generate the variation, and then selection,
and he did have like a hypothetical sort of like mechanic. Did he use the word philostion, or is that a different unrelated word?
That may actually have been Erasmus Darwin, his grandfather.
Okay.
Who was like an actual fairly well-known like natural philosopher or whatever they called him back then. Yeah.
The Darwin family had several of them. Like there was a Charles Darwin that was like a grandson.
There was he actually did experiments. He discovered he observed the effects of and proposed the existence of hormones in plants. And that was Darwin and his son. So if Charles Darwin had never done anything with evolution, plant biologists would still be like, that Darwin guy, awesome.
Right?
Because plant hormones, yeah.
That introduced mutations as what did evolution, what produced it.
So Darwin, we call that Darwinism, the selection part. But then the neo-Darwinism came in the 1920s and 30s.
Okay.
And that's where they...
I didn't go back in time. He already said this.
Let's have our difference generator be these accidental
Random
copying
mutations.
errors. Yeah.
And we're learning there's the random mutations, the random copying errors are what bring diseases. They're not what are responsible for the changes that they were trying to say that they were responsible for.
I don't know even what to say to that. It's like, if the change is beneficial, then it's on purpose. If the change is a problem, then it's a mutation. I feel like...
and also lactose doesn't exist.
I feel like that's a little bit of begging the question. In like the proper sense of the fallacy.
Correct. The cyclical...
Yeah.
Yeah.
And large, they're not.
Okay.
So most of these adaptive differences in what do I mean? What do I mean by an adaptive difference? I think that a smaller, thinner beak, or a thicker, longer, larger beak, something like that. Those are adaptive differences.
Cool.
Okay. So one beak option might be better suited to exploit a particular food source than
Yeah,
the other.
we already know
And
that.
the beak option has its own niche, and that helps these two birds who came from the same family, maybe not that long ago, to actually live in the same place and eat slightly different foods so that they can coexist. Niche partitioning is, I think, one of the phrases that you can use for that.
Dude, we know how niche partitioning works. Okay. Picture
There's probably a Magic School Bus episode with this content.
there's a reboot of the series called The Magic School Bus Rides Again. It's so good. It's so
I bet
good.
Miss Frizzle is insane.
Miss Frizzle got a PhD, and she's Dr. Frizzle, and it's her
Wow.
daughter is teaching. It's the same kids in the next grade, and it's her daughter is the teacher now. And it's still Miss Frizzle. It's just a different person. It's fantastic.
Life changing.
There's a whole episode on like how genetics works, and there's a little aside at the end of it on like, and by the way, you're not just your genes. Your genes might tell your eye color, but they don't tell you what language you speak and what kind of books you enjoy. And I'm like, damn, this is great.
That goes hard. It's like
really
straight to the
hard.
point,
I
right?
was literally on vacation a couple weeks ago, and it was like me and my siblings and like my kids and their cousins, and they were all watching The Magic School Bus. And I'm like listening out of one ear while I'm hanging out with, the adults in my family. And then that part, and I was just like, this is great. This is awesome.
Children's programming has really gotten I feel like Dora the Explorer was where they were like, oh, we figured out. Sesame Street was the original, but
we can get them young.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it was really. But anyway, I digress. This concept of niche partitioning is an important evolutionary mechanism because picture a Venn diagram, right? You have a niche, an ecological niche, just refers to all the resources you utilize, just all those resources. And you could just say a circle. That's your niche. So if you have a Venn diagram, right, and they partially overlap, they're competing for the overlapping part. Even if you win the competition, that still hurts you because you had to spend energy on the competition instead of doing something else with that energy. So selection operates in such a way that minimizes the competition. And we can see this directly. You can measure this in overlapping populations because you will see that the individuals, when niche partitioning is occurring, the individuals that utilize non-overlapping resources have more offspring on average than the individuals that utilize the overlapping resources. Like we can literally watch this happening in real time. Like there's flies, the North American apple maggot fly is like doing this right now. We're watching niche partitioning lead to speciation in these flies in real time right now. And here's the nail in the coffin for what they're saying. not only can we watch it happen like macro, like they use different food sources and they tend to only reproduce with the ones on their own food source, whatever, we can actually document the genetic changes that are facilitating the expansion to the new food source. And over generations, document that those mutations on net are higher fitness than the ancestral genotype. And so it's like, it's every step in the process we can directly observe and document. And it's the opposite of the mechanism that he's describing.
Yeah, but is that a dog giving birth to a non-dog?
You shut your face. We already did the Trolls Dan square.
It doesn't matter if this is my job. There's another square that I'm trying to go for, but Maya hasn't kicked me yet.
I only have 4 squares left on my card.
And
Okay, what squares do you need?
I'm almost afraid to ask what the heck Dutch Hunger Winter? What, I don't even.
If he gets to the epigenetics part, that's an actual real thing. He doesn't bring it up. I just happen to know about it and know that it's a cool topic.
Got it. Okay.
So I do want to get to that if we don't. And
I think we'll get there. I'll just stop
we did
talking for a few
he
minutes.
did get further than but yeah.
So in other words,
Oh, we're
bottom line
22 minutes in? Wow, this is like a new.
Hey, it's only been 2 hours.
Yeah.
No, like we rarely get past 15 minutes is good for us, honestly.
Yeah. It would have been like, I wish I had been going at 1.5 the entire time. I learned about here.
Okay.
Yeah, they go real slow. They go, and look, I'm from North Jersey, so 1.5 is my default. Like that is baseline.
That's my baseline. In the car, if I'm like listening to shit in the car, I'm at 2. But
Yeah.
all right, let's
My
go
audiobooks
straight.
are
That's a great
so
idea.
genetics. Now that we're sequencing those genomes and trying to look for, okay, are there any patterns in the genes that match the phenotypes that we're seeing, these differences, and they're finding, oh, these guys have this version of the gene, those guys have that version of the gene.
Yeah, that's
and
how genetics work.
They both can still interbreed, and when they crossbreed, their offspring deploy the same set of differences. So they might have a clutch of eggs.
That's how inheritance works.
that hatch.
That's
And you might have
literally how this shit works. It's called segregation and independent assortment. It's from the 1860s, dude.
You don't even have to know the mechanism to know, like, the graph, right?
It's just like describing how a Punnett square works.
Exactly.
some of the babies have the smaller beak, some of the babies have the bigger beak. And so it's genetics. It's all genetics. It's all the recombination and mixing and matching and shuffling the deck of all these alleles, redeploying them to make these different options and these trait options. So that's one. So that's one way that we can discern between these two models.
Okay, but that was not your model. That was what he just spent a minute describing is just basic genetics.
It's basic genetics, and you can probably come up with a bad creationist model that sort of emulates a lot of it.
Probably.
Not if you carry it back and you forbid special cases, but
well, you have to allow the miracles, right?
Exactly.
Random, nature only. The other model is they were endowed with these options and blueprints. Okay, what are we finding? We're finding the genetics that confirm the blueprints. What else are we finding?
How?
They're not dying necessarily.
He literally just spent a minute and a half describing like the most basic genetics processes, and then did therefore creation.
Yeah.
Well, that was.
Yeah.
Like, that wasn't an argument. That was just, hey, remember basic Mendelian genetics? Well, that's how God works. Like.
I feel like his coherence never recovered from when he got like distracted that one time.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
They can deploy these trait options just like that without dying.
Deploy these trade options. I feel like I'm watching CNBC right now.
Like expressive gene?
So that there's no death of the unfit. That was part and parcel of the selection that Darwin.
But you can't not have the death. The death is a direct. We can measure that part. There's tons of death. There's a whole thing. Like, Jesus, am I covered in mosquitoes right now? Because each one of them has 1,000 eggs, lays 1,000 larvae. Like, is there no death? Is carrying capacity not a thing?
Where'd my dad go? Sorry, that was heavy. Never mind.
Didn't expect that.
That wasn't at you, but like.
Thanks for bumming everybody out, Vandy.
He's not around anymore.
From Little Beak to Big Beak, it was, if I remember correctly, the dry season, they didn't have the fruits, all they had was the nuts. Skinny Beak died, Big Beak survived.
Yeah, more of the skinny beak died.
Right.
He's like, he's like,
What? All right.
He's like, sure. It's your show, dude.
yeah, that was it.
All right. Yes, more of the skinny. Don't make any sudden movements, sir.
Big beak survived.
Yeah, more of the skinny beak died.
Right.
Than did the big thick beak
right.
to survive the drought season.
And that's where the changes were happening.
Yeah, but then
And so can we just time out? Because Brian just spent like 2-3 minutes being like, you don't need the death. It's this other mechanism where they consciously pick which trait to have. And then it goes back to...
Oh my God, I missed that. You're right.
It goes back to Hovind the Lesser over here. And he's like, so during the drought, they died, right? Just like, dude.
Which is weird.
This has been his whole life. And you don't need more than this right here to show that he doesn't even read his own slides that he stole from his father.
Didn't even hear the words, though. The words.
Exactly.
Were just like, no death, no death, no death. So they died. It was like, he just explained how they didn't die. It's like, so during the drought, they died. Like,
no. But I hear you. But like, that's my point too. Like, this has been his whole fucking life. He's been listening to evolution talk since he was a goddamn baby.
Yeah.
Like, he was in the womb getting this shit. And he still thinks like that it has to happen like this. Like, it's not even sinking in as somebody is correcting him. He's just such a goddamn idiot.
I think honestly, he learned from Kent. So can we really blame him?
All right.
Yeah,
like,
I can. I will.
Fair. I mean, he's an adult.
That's legitimate. That's legitimate.
And then it went back.
And so did the environment, did the lack of availability of food kill off a bunch of finches?
Yes, like literally yes.
Yeah,
yes, that's what happened. This was for reference, folks. This happened in the 1970s, and there was a team of scientists on the island counting when this happened. Like, is it because a bunch of finches died because they couldn't eat the food that was available? Yes, that's literally what happened, and we had people there watching it happen.
Yeah, all right, but what about the Breatharians?
Oh, for fuck's sake!
They are assuming that it did.
That's true.
Because that's what the model described.
You can
measured it.
Go to the paper where they looked at the demographics and documented how a bunch of finches died because they had no food to eat. This is not ancient history. This is from the 1970s, and there were literal human beings on the island measuring when this happened.
They took the data. We checked.
Is it because a bunch of finches died? No, that's just an assumption. There were literal people there counting the finches when they died.
And they probably fit it to all sorts of fancy models and stuff. Why didn't they help the finches though, huh? Is it because they thought they were related to pine cones?
Oh my God.
Before we're even approaching the data, before we even collect the data, we're assuming these guys the thin beaks are no longer around because...
You made that sound like a slur.
They must have died off because their beaks couldn't penetrate these seeds.
Before we even collected the data, that's what the data showed. The little beaks, they couldn't beat the big nuts because there was a drought in the 1970s, and so there were fewer small seeds. There were more proportionally larger nuts. So if you had a very small, fine beak, you couldn't crack the bigger nuts, so you died. So more of the kids in the subsequent years had the bigger beaks. And he's like, we drew the conclusion before we collected the data. It's like, dude, they were literally there. There are pictures that exist of people holding finches with calipers on the beak, and there's like a little tag around their legs so they can keep track of who is who.
Sounds stressful for the finches.
He has a PhD. He knows better. He's lying.
Correct. And he has it from he has an actual
legit.
PhD.
It's legit. Like, he knows how science works. Yeah.
It's not that. Maybe it's maybe it's just because well, here's a crazy one.
Man, this sentence is not starting off strong.
If the creator's a super hyper genius, he might have even given these animals the ability, these mothers and fathers, the parent animals, the ability to detect factors like calories, food availability, and to send messages to the developing babies to develop in a certain trajectory.
Here comes the epigenetics of magic. Here it is.
And meet the needs that are required.
I can feel it.
Or better suited to the particular. In other words, are these creatures actually, I mean, could it be that they're not only designed to deploy these different trade options, but to deploy them in a way that better suits the environment that the parents experienced? Wouldn't that be? How would we test for that?
Point.
How would we test for that?
He
That is a
danced
great
around
question,
the
though.
point. He danced around the whole point that he wanted to. He is implying, I think, by his language and by his language throughout the rest of this video, I think he's implying that this is a choice.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like, and it's like very like conscious Lamarckian. It's Lamarckian plus I'm going to decide what the trait is.
Right.
Yes, and
so
and
like, does he think that the finches had like some innate ability to make designer babies?
Yes, that's what he's saying. He's basically saying they could do designer babies based on whatever food source. Yeah.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
The example
that's impressive.
The example that I thought he might bring up, which he didn't because it would have been, now that I think about it, it would have been a really bad taste, is what is known sometimes as the Dutch hunger winter.
Okay.
And so the Dutch hunger winter was a famine for a very particular period from 1944 to 1945 that was... It had a hard start date and like a hard stop date because it was enforced by the German occupation.
Right.
And so you had a certain period of months, and since then, one of the big things that was learned about this is that there was you can track an epigenetic change in women that were pregnant but they had to be pregnant during particular trimesters.
Right. It was specific times. Yeah. This is the thing.
Specific times, and they had the data. Their children had much higher rates of obesity and diabetes and things like that, because they had biochemical signals
saying calorie deficient. Yes.
Turn this on.
So this is a hypothesis that explains certain traits called the thrifty epigenotype hypothesis. And the hypothesis is that if during gestation you experience a caloric deficiency, and I forget what during specific times of gestation, if when you are gestating you experience caloric deficiency, then your gene expression profile is such that you will be very quick to store excess calories and very reluctant like biochemically to utilize those excess calories when you need them, which leads to like predisposes one to obesity, right? And here's the thing though. Here's the thing that creationists get wrong about this. That's it. When does it have to happen? And you said when it has to happen. It has to be during pregnancy, which means the transmission to the embryo has already happened, which means it's not mom transmitting the information, it's the embryo itself directly experiencing a caloric deficiency.
Yeah.
So it's not what he says it is.
Exactly. It's not. And it's also I think that it has to be in the first 2 trimesters, and it's strongest if it's in the first trimester.
That makes sense.
But because I think by the time the 3rd trimester comes around,
everything is there, and it's just a size thing at that point.
Exactly. But this has been tracked, and then it's been tracked through now like 3 generations, and like the signal to noise is starting to become
it gets a little
tricky.
bit
but they studies have focused on the children of the main cohort that was born and their grandchildren. So we have 3 generations of data, and there's specific things. But guess what? This is not an allele change. It could be considered a phenotype change because that involves like expression. Maybe, I don't know. I could be wrong.
Yeah, it's a phenotype. It has to do with like it's a like a metabolic profile phenotype, but it's a methylation pattern.
Yeah, but the base pairs of the DNA are not what we're talking about here.
Right.
Yeah, like
it's chemically modifying the DNA. Yeah,
and this, I remember when I learned about this, it was eye-opening because I had never heard of that, and I looked and I was like, oh man, this is...
And the thing that creationists get wrong about this is one, there's a couple problems here. One is that the first step has to be to the embryo. So it's not that the famine in the mom is transmitted to a later pregnancy. It has to happen during the pregnancy. So and that's what what they're talking about right here, and they're totally wrong about that. It has to be during, like it has to be to the embryo. And then those epigenetic profiles can then subsequently be transmitted because in your gametes, you set the epigenetic profile for your offspring, right? So like whatever your profile is, that can be transmitted. And it tends to be set during embryonic development. So like if you experience a famine when you are gestating, then you're going to pass that profile on to your kids. Okay, that's not like what he's talking about.
And it could happen in a few different ways, and none of it's what he's talking about.
But then the other thing is that even if it was what he was talking about, it wouldn't matter because what governs epigenetics? It's enzymes that add the methyl groups to your DNA, and what affects the enzymes? The sequence of the gene that codes for that protein. So it's just like there's an extra step, but it goes back to the gene sequence anyway. It's just a different gene.
Yeah.
It's not, epigenetics is not magic. Creationists think epigenetics is magic. It's not. It's just biology.
It's super cool. But oh man,
it's just biochemistry. It's not magic.
It's epigenetics is one of those things where like I see in another field, I'm like, oh yeah, the charlatans are gonna misinterpret that because it's subtle.
It's like the biology version of quantum.
Exactly. Exactly. It's like, oh, this is just kind of easy to fuck up.
Yeah.
And it sounds, if you're bad at reading
or if you're a grifter,
or inexperienced, or if you're a grifter, it sounds like magic.
You can present it as magic, and that's not what it is. It's just biochemistry.
Yeah.
Drum roll. I wouldn't bring it up if it wasn't actually happening.
I mean, you got me curious. Like literally, the dad bird can experience things in the environment. When he fertilizes the egg, you're saying somehow his...
I don't know that the dad... I don't know that if the dad were the one exposed to the... So in the Dutch Underwinter, if only the men were exposed to those deficiencies, you would not see this...
No.
You might see something. I could imagine, but it would be way harder.
It's because so much of the biochemistry of the zygote is from the mom. There's not actually much of the dad in there. Yeah.
You would have to see something like, oh, well, I guess they all have this sort of weird failure mode where I guess the sperm got a little bit peaky.
Yeah.
Experiences are going to help direct how the baby chick develops.
And so this is a whole new field, and some of the messages that go from parent to germ cell, sperm or egg. Some of those messages are encoded onto the DNA by epigenetic markings. Epigenetics.
This is not a new field. This is not a whole new field. This is such a new field. I literally teach it in freshman biology. That's how new and cutting edge it is. And I've been teaching it in freshman biology for over a decade. This is not a new field. I don't know what to tell you. This is ridiculous. Oh, look at this brand new thing that's overturning genetics. My guy, I teach this to college freshmen. Okay?
You've been teaching for over a decade?
Don't remind me how old I am.
No, I'm sorry. You just seem like a competent professor.
Thank you. Hey, I'd like to think I'm a competent professor. I'd like to think that.
If you know, you know.
Might be trying to get that gig. So
yeah.
Of the genetics, the genes, on top of the genes, to shut them down so that the baby, as it's developing and unfolding and accessing its DNA that it just inherited, it's shut down. It's like epigenetics are like a paper clip clipped onto pages of an encyclopedia. And as the bird is opening the page of it, it's like, I need this information, I need that information to develop this feature or that feature, or to build a mitochondria, or to make this protein or that protein. It
Powerhouse of the cell.
runs to the page
No,
and
but
goes,
the mitochondria have their own DNA and do their own thing.
Yeah, but mitochondria was a remarkably bad choice
That was
there.
awful choice.
It was literally the one wrong choice that
Like,
you could make. One's
yeah.
obviously wrong. There might have been other ones, but
But like they have their own DNA that operates completely independently of the nuclear genome. What are we talking about? So dumb.
and it saves that information for another generation.
So it's still in there, but it just skips it.
It skips it, and it's
his analogy that he was going for though was that it's like a paperclip, like a note attached to the page that when it's
include this. Yeah.
well, yeah, so that like when the gene machinery stuff is like happening, that it can modify it. That analogy might not be absolutely awful. That one,
But then the whole we keep it for the next generation and like they
oh yeah,
don't.
no,
Like,
that's awful.
It's just there. It's just
It's
there's
just
not
there.
anything
It's-
you're doing. It's just
Everything's happening locally.
yeah. I don't know. None of that
by the
makes
epigenetic
sense.
patterning that it inherited. So not only do these creatures inherit their genes, raw genes, but they're also inheriting epigenetic markings that help to regulate which genes are accessed at what times. Another exciting discovery along these lines is RNA. This is
Exciting discovery of RNA.
this is
Also, I just
like
realized I could
4 or 5
change the way my name is structured, and I made it match yours because that made sense.
years ago, and there's a huge field opening up now.
Are you also going to join the a wonderful field of anti-magnetology?
Or are you going to be a patron saint of something other than woke bitches?
There we go. Yeah.
Where there's actual RNA molecules that get transferred into the egg cell straight from the mother, into the sperm cell straight from the father, and then that RNA, once it reaches inside that germ cell, it gets reverse transcribed back into DNA, and it becomes part of that next generation. So we are actually inheriting. Birds are, fish are, mice are. All these studies showing these creatures are inheriting not just the same blueprint that its parent had plus a few mutations. Like that's what I grew up believing.
That's
and
what I'm
being
thinking.
taught.
Yep.
But they're also inheriting.
Hang on, let's
messages,
finish.
directly from the parents, and even some of
Man, he did not finish that sentence.
Secret codes.
What
Hey, honey, I just want you to know this about your mother.
actual-
plus a few
What's
mutations.
that?
That's what I grew up believing.
That's
and
what I'm
being
thinking,
taught.
yep.
But they're also inheriting messages directly from the parents, and even some of these secrets.
Secret codes. Hey, honey, I just want you to know this about your mother.
But,
But it's literally
okay, but
putting
hang
in-
on. So hang on. So there's RNA in the egg cell,
Okay.
which is true. They do a lot of
Yeah.
transcription prior to fertilization, and then you just like boom, make all the proteins. Like so,
Yeah.
he's saying there's RNA in the egg cell,
Okay.
and then that RNA, they transcribe it
I
back to the DNA.
I think when he first said the egg cell, I think that was a misspeak, and he corrected himself and said it was from the sperm. So
Well, yeah, that's
Same
where
root
half
that
the
the parent
genome
had.
comes from. Sure.
but he's talking. I think what he's trying to describe is that there's this cool thing where not just DNA is sort of inherited, but also RNA in this like weird funky thing, and it's not from
I think you
the
said
egg.
the RNA codes the DNA. Is that what
Goes
he
back
said?
to does reverse transcription back to the DNA, which
Yeah.
but where does the RNA come from? It comes from your DNA, so you don't need to reverse any RNA, unless it's like viral RNA, which you have your immune system deals with. Any RNA in your cells, right, comes from the DNA in your cells, so you don't need to reverse transcribe it back to DNA,
Right.
because it's already there, because
Right.
that's where it came from.
And so that's why I was like, I don't understand. Fuck, he's not trying to make sense. I don't.
Also, that sentence
He's trying. He's
was a
trying.
nightmare, and
It was-
it's possible I don't understand what he's trying to say because that sentence was a nightmare.
Yeah.
Yeah, and honestly, I think he would agree if he went back and looked at it.
What idea was he trying to convey? I don't know what it was.
Well, also it got so disjointed at the end that that Eric stepped in and didn't help matters.
That made it worse.
Yeah.
Eric
Yep.
made it worse.
But at
I
least
mean,
put,
which
like,
is
an
life,
end
right?
point on it. Like he was like, "We're done."
I need to stop that sentence and try a new one, please.
Right.
Yeah. It's not the worst sentence I've ever heard in a creationist video. All 8 of those definitely belong to Carl Baugh.
Yeah, we haven't done Carl Baugh, so notes for next time, I guess.
He's more like a geology physics guy, right? What does he do? What does he do?
Crimes against the English language. He owns a creation museum on the river that has all of the dinosaur footprints. I can't remember the name of it. And Poxitani. He owns a property on the Poxitani River.
Okay, cool.
And he is so bad that even Kent Hovind doesn't endorse everything.
Amazing.
There is nobody who has like a lower sort of ranking on the totem pole of credibility than Carl Baugh. He has a hammer that somebody found that was like covered in lime.
He's the hammer he's the prehistoric hammer guy.
Yeah. Logix has a whole. Everybody should go and watch Logix videos. The playlist is science from the 12th century or something like that. It's amazing, and there are a couple of them where he doesn't diagram the sentence because that's impossible and would like destroy your computer with like divide by zero errors. But it's like he shows every word and it's like you're just jaw dropped by the end of this sentence, which ends with, "Now I hope I haven't lost the audience." Bruh.
Let me tell you.
Bruh. I love Carl Baugh. I mean, I love to hate Carl Baugh.
There.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Dr. Nick, God, it's been so good to have you back. I hope you had fun.
This has been both fun and why do I do this to myself?
Are you gonna come
This
back?
has really been. It really is just a delight to spend this time with you two. It's. Oh man.
All right. I'll keep that in mind next time you ask for it.
I don't know why we're friends.
You're friends.
Narrative reasons mostly.
Seriously, before we go though, does anyone know what the hell he was trying to say there? Because I have no idea.
It didn't make sense, and I'm like, you have a PhD. Like I had, I didn't even minor in biology, and like you teach it professionally. I don't.
As you learn in grad school, one of the things nobody teaches you is how to teach. And they just assume, like, if you get a PhD, you can teach it. And we're just like, great, now you're going to teach it. And it's like,
I have a PhD and 4 years of a postdoc, and I'm going to need to figure out what's going on soon enough. And I have never taught.
Nobody teaches you how.
I've never even done it without somebody teaching. Like, I've never been a TA.
Yeah.
And so, like, now I'm like, oh, man, if I want to, like, try and be a professor.
To learn how to teach. This is actually doing this.
Yeah.
Doing this is actually good. I will
point.
tell you, there has been, like, cross-pollination between, like, YouTube stuff and my actual classes. Because, like, how do I explain this concept so that, like, random people on YouTube understand it is actually a pretty good starting point for how do I explain this to college freshmen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, that actually works.
That's
so I will say, like, that, like, doing science, it's all just science communication, right? It's all basically the same thing.
Yeah, but I drink a lot.
Just don't do that for class.
Well, during class.
Or before.
Yeah. But
Or
yeah.
Yeah. Generally discouraged, I think.
All right, Dr. Dan, who are you? Where are you? What do you have coming up?
I'm an evolutionary biologist, and I spend my time on YouTube talking about why creationists are wrong about every freaking word that comes out of their mouth. You can find me at my channel, which is called Creation Myths. If you find a channel where all the thumbnails are black and white, with text. That's me. I'm basically that XKCD comic. I think it's called branding. That's my channel. That's
And they're
me.
all spelled right.
And they're all spelled right. Now they are. Thank you. Appreciate it. And thank you to everyone who read my misspelled thumbnail and didn't tell me about it for the last like 6 days. So thanks for that. Yeah, so my channel's Creation Myths, and I will say one of the big thing that I've been trying to do lately is kind of do shorter form things that are like, here's a thing creationists say, and here's like the reasons why it's wrong and the explanation and like what you can say to deal with it, and like short and quick and accessible. And that's what I have coming up this Wednesday is another one of those. It's The Horse is Already Dead, but I'm gonna keep on going on that on the one I'm doing this week.
No, I am so pro. I'm dealing with a couple of things behind the scenes lately, and everybody's like, "Oh, whoa, it's dead. Okay, we can stop." And I'm like, "No, nail the coffin shut.
Just keep going." Yeah, it's like, here's why you're wrong, and here's why you're wrong, and here's another reason, and here's one more on top of that, and like any one of those alone. But here you go. Yeah.
Yeah. Just
encase that shit in cement.
Yep.
Yeah. Exactly. Vandy, do you have anything coming up?
I have. So I got my video for next week's ready to go. I do every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern is my I love how we all have our own time slots. It's like network TV.
I know, right?
I know Dapper is Tuesday night. He does his so-and-so with so-and-so. And then I got Wednesdays, and we got Bad Science Sunday. Like, everyone's got their time slots. And so I'm Wednesdays at 9 Eastern. And this week I've got a short one, just like here's another way to destroy this argument. And I have several in the works, a couple lighter ones of just like, there's something that Donnie said that I'm just like, I think he's actually dumber than I thought. And I was giving him way too much credit. So like, that's going to be a fun one.
You say Donnie?
Standing for Truth.
Yeah.
Donnie Deals.
I don't know if it's possible for him to be dumber than I thought.
No, see, I think giving him more credit. I think I put him firmly in the liar for Jesus camp.
Yeah,
and
same. Like, no, does not know what he's talking about. Like, I give him no credit. So I don't know. I mean, it is possible for him to be dumber than I give him credit for. Maybe he got some evolution in school if he went to a blue state that he's just like disregarding. But like I give him I word him no credit, and may God have mercy.
I give you no points.
Yes,
and may God have mercy on your soul.
Right.
Everybody is in fact dumber for having listened to it.
Yeah, that is peak. Yep, it's everyone. That is every stream on Donnie Deals. Yeah. So I don't know when I gotta record that at some point, but I'm in the middle of a 4-week summer class, and 4-week summer classes are a lot of time because it's 4 days a week, 4 weeks. Yep. But I have to record that at some point, and I haven't scheduled this yet. It might be next week actually, because I'll probably do it live. I have in my possession the syllabus from Discovery Institute of a high school biology curriculum that I am going to go over because
you got to make this a whole series.
If
you can. I don't know.
And every lesson is like fine, and here's how God did it. Fine, and why this proves intelligent design. It's like,
oh my God.
So I have to go at some point.
I am excited.
Amaze.
Vandy, anything for you?
No. Yeah.
Oh, hey, look, it's Bree. Welcome on in, Bree. You made it just in time to miss the entire stream.
I don't.
Happy you came though.
I will be doing so next week. I will be on BSS on Saturday, and then I will be on BSS on Sunday. Budget Scripture Saturday and Bad Science Sundays.
I think Kip is on a hiatus. He's not. Yeah, he's on a hiatus because he's moving, which is always fun.
All right. Well, maybe me and Nitty will try and do some reputation defamation sort of deal.
You know what, Nitty? That's a great idea. You should have Vandy onto your show so you can do whatever it is you do now. We're gonna have to have Nitty back on one day. All right. Next week we will be here. I don't know if it's gonna be me and Vandy or if we're gonna have a guest, but we will be here. So yeah, it's been I know I've been I don't know, doing summers are just crazy, and I'm sorry. Yes.
I just remembered something that's
Yes.
coming up that is not specifically me, but I'm involved.
Okay.
And for those of you who appreciate the short form content, when me and Dapper and Erica get together,
Ooh.
that's coming up. We've got
We
a
all
couple.
love that. All
We've
of
got
us.
a couple coming up. A couple Triumvirate streams coming up.
Nice.
We got to get not Dapper. We get Dapper on this show, but we got to get
that will
Erica
happen.
on this show.
You got to get Erica on here, yeah.
Eric's
So we
so
have
busy, though.
a couple of those we're scheduling, but
They
we
put
have
in
like
a
the
good-
next two.
Yeah,
queued
put
up.
in a good
So
word for me, because I know Eric is really busy.
she should come on here and do some like Christopher Roop Lucy was a pygmy nonsense or something.
Oh man,
I have
there's
ideas.
so many ideas. Yeah,
Yeah.
like aquatic ape.
Oh,
just
yeah.
I
that
would
comes
really
to
love
mind.
that.
Yeah.
I would really love
Uh-huh.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that aside, yeah, I don't know. I'm hesitant to ask her to come on just because I know she's so busy finishing up her PhD.
You should
but-
ask.
We might have
Alright.
actually done aquatic ape with Peter from Paleologos, who's one of the very few creationist
That's
people that we have
hilarious.
had on.
That's hilarious. You did a BSS with Peter. That's hilarious.
We did- yeah, it was one of his it was a birthday stream for Vandy. but-
Awesome.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was about. It was mostly about him being like, yeah, everybody who is a creationist is lying about Australopithecus and Lucy. And I was
Yeah.
like,
That's why Peter won a Cambrian Bunny for best creationist at some point because
probably like 2 years in a row, and then you made it like not allowed for him to win.
like you can't do two. Yeah, you can't have repeats. Yeah, right. Yeah.
There must be another one out there. I don't know. But I mean, you already have to start the bar on the floor, and then you have to dig them
Breathing
up.
on a curve, right?
Yeah.
A 36% is an A. Yeah, we're
Man, sounds like my first E&M class in grad school. Fuck.
All right, everybody, we will see you back here next week. And remember, fuck ICE, abolish and prosecute. Bye.